Who knows what has happened in these 2 days for him? He could come up with something new today. Could go back to, I don't know if it's profit or whatever. So I think this could definitely be to their benefit that they get an extra day to view, spectate, and learn and come up with something new. Hopefully, I mean, I say that to if you're a Talon fan, hopefully they're not gonna just stick to what they've been doing, because I think LGD is a team that does their homework. They're gonna figure something out. You're not gonna get like, you're not gonna get like underlord game, or it's gonna be banned, or you know. So I think it's to their advantage if they've spent their time well and wise.
Yeah, they come from Group B, and they did not make it to the top 4, so they start in the lower bracket. And they struggle a little bit, and it's interesting to see because, for example, at Lima Major, they came 3rd. They were a very dominant team, but Jenkins, it seems like they've had a little bit of struggle to adapt properly to the patch here.
You know, right after the major, they did an interview, and they were saying basically like they learned a lot from the major, from Liquid and Game and Gladiators, but then, you know, a brand new patch comes out, like even Liquid and Game and Gladiators don't really know what's going on. Maybe more so Game does. And yeah, you know, Talon, their playstyle for a very long time has been picking jabs, some like weird carry in the off lane, Nature's Prophet, he'll play carry role, or
they
like
stopped
Naga
doing that.
Siren. And that's just not what this patch is about. It's about building like a bunch of aura items on the offlaner, and but it is good to see in the last couple of days they have adapted. Just at the start of the tournament they didn't, but now they have. So I think it'll be a little more even in
Will you give us
in
winners?
today's matches.
Obviously, I'll
Yeah,
give
a lot
you
of talks
winners.
about jabs here for this opening here.
I only
Peter,
give winners,
looking
Wilsey.
at Talon, is that also the player that you're looking at most closely when you're watching them play?
Yeah, I think we've all been following Jabs and his career, primarily in Southeast Asia over the past almost like 10 years. This guy's been playing forever, only 24 years old. He's now the captain and off-later, and been impressed. You know, he's always kind of making it into these second stages of the tournament. He hasn't really been on the podium too much, besides at Lima Major they got, was it 3rd or 4th?
3rd place.
3rd, yeah.
So definitely heating up. Maybe this is his year to kind of have that breakout success that I think he deserves.
Yeah, he's being surrounded by star players. Of course, 23 Savage being one of them, with one of the highest, if not the highest, right now MMR out there. So definitely a star player. Good one to have in your team, and a good one to talk to Slacks as well.
Hey guys, I'm here with 23 Savage from Talon. How's it going?
Great.
Great. That great for an elimination morning, huh? You guys woke up early. You're against LGD, fighting for your lives, and things are great?
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Well, I had an idea for you to pump up your teammates, you know? I know you're a man of the people. You're a man of motivation. I thought we'd go down the line here, and you could give a little speech to your boys to wake them up and get ready for this series today. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Look this man in the eye and tell him what he's good at. Tell him what he does.
He's good at flirting women.
He's good at what?
Flirting women.
Flirting with women. All right, you're good at flirting with women. Bring it in here today. Flirt with the enemy ladies on the game. What do we got here?
He's good at drinking.
He's good at drinking. Think about how much you can drink after you win this match, okay? Fantastic. Drink their blood, my friend. Drink their milkshake. What do we got?
Drink their
He's good at
milkshake?
Mobile games.
He's good at mobile games. Think about your future 30 years from now after you win 2 TIs. You're out there playing mobile, Dota 4 on mobile. But you should play Dota 2 here today. Last but not least,
He's good at watching anime.
watching anime. This game is an anime, bro. You're the protagonist, all right? You got to rise.
You're
This
the
is after
protagonist.
the climax.
Oh, I hit him with
This is
the you're the
conclusion,
protag,
baby.
bro.
And what's this guy good at?
This guy?
No. What's he good at?
He's good at breaking her girl heart.
Breaking girls' heart. Well, hopefully you can break LGD's heart here today. Thank you so much. Best of luck in your series. No one said anything about Dota, so we'll see how that one goes. Thank you.
I would trust that they're pretty good at playing Dota.
It's all insults. They just insulted each other.
Not insults.
No,
They're
but
just
it's
having
good
fun.
they're in this high spirits, right?
I'm now convinced they're gonna win.
Me
Wow.
too. Me too.
That interview convinced me.
I hope it convinces themselves as well. They look ready though. They look happy, and they can deal with Slacks' craziness, which I think on the spot. Not every player, not every Dota 2 player can do that. So credit to them for sure. We should also focus our attention to their opponents, because I know Talon did very well. Lima, different team, different patch. Same thing can be said at PSG.LGD, although they did not do that well in Lima. They actually got eliminated at this very spot.
Yeah. Yeah. Talon didn't. Talon went straight
Yeah.
through the lower bracket to third place. So, yeah, we're hoping for LGD fans out there, not a repeat of the last time that this happened. It was
Hard Knock
2-1
Live,
though.
guys.
And
So
it was,
it was a close series.
and it was with a different offlaner because they couldn't play with their normal offlaner. They had Old 11 standing in,
True.
and now they got Zeal.
Yeah.
Good.
And he's been quite the star, I would say. He picks, some interesting stuff that they can draft around. We've seen the Brewmaster come out every now and then, and it goes very well. And I think against like Medusa and some of the common heroes on the patch, it is a sleeper, solid pick to come out in the offlane, especially with all the other offlaners getting banned. So yeah, this is a different roster. They could definitely make it through.
Yep, they need a lot of points. Talon has 800 and something points, of course, because they came so far. in Lima.
Daytime recovery
But
sum.
PSG.LGD, they have 480 points, which is really not that many,
They need
especially considering the amount of teams playing in China. And they don't necessarily have the guarantee that they'll do well in their region every single time. So getting far here is very important. Now, we earlier said that when we're looking at Talon, you're looking at Jabs. Peter, if you look at PSG.LGD, who does your eye go to? Who are you looking at?
Well, besides Zeal,
Shiro.
it's got to be nothing to say. Their mid player, he's
Nah, Shiro's
this
my
guy's
boy.
just been so dominant since he entered the scene. He's had
Oh,
2 top
Yeah.
tier placements, I want to say.
Yesterday
top
was
5
wild.
At least, and he's kind of, they're going to first pick him Storm Spirit if they can and
Yep.
put all the eggs in his basket. Hopefully he can carry.
Surely you're going to look at Y as well. Isn't it from one, with 3
Oh,
PI
yes, of
winners
course.
to the others?
Of course, we want to see what he's going to do.
We're just so
too.
used to talking about him.
Do
He's
we have an
always
interview
the
with
guy.
him? Is that what this is?
Hmm?
Do we have an interview with him?
We don't. No,
Oh, sorry,
we
I
will have
thought
an
you were
interview with Zeal
transitioning.
in a little bit. But I just want to talk about Y for a little bit because he has been around for so long and he's a staple. But he is not, he's not a super flashy player because he's a 5. So you're not going to be flashy. But I like support players. Notice I'm sure you like support players as well. So you look at them.
Of course. I mean, I always think about Shawade and Y, and I always think about Wings whenever
course,
Y is
yeah.
involved. Of course, there's like
Yeah.
an element of this, and to me, Wings was like the team of innovation. Together with us, I think we had a lot of mutual respect, and we pushed ideas in Dota much more than many other teams did back then. So I always look at this with a great curiosity and a lot of respect. I think Jabs comes from a similar place of like great innovation, looking at the game with a very open mind, not afraid to try new things. And to me, Shawade and Y are the same. They're in the same type of boat, and I think this is the boat you have to be in. So I'm expecting new stuff today. I think we're maybe going to see comfort picks or something that they may have done before, but I'll be very surprised if we don't see something new and some kind of curveball, something nobody expects.
Yeah, Y and Zawade there as the veteran players. It's always good to have a mix of veteran and new guys on the same squad. And Zeal, this is his first international major, so very exciting stuff for him. And that's why we love talking to him, especially Slacks loves talking to him.
Guys, I am here with Zeal from PSG.LGD. Sir, how you feeling going into this elimination game? Big stress, big stress. Just kidding, no stress.
Confident.
Confident, that's what I like to see. All right, well, I thought that maybe your teammates could use some of this confidence. So I wanted to go down the line and have you tell them what they do best so that we can motivate this for them for this elimination series. Is that all right?
I guess so. Yeah.
You guess so? You better get more hype than that. This is the speech. This is the life-saving speech here, sir. You ready?
No.
Okay, fantastic. All right, let's go down the line here. We got the legends themselves. Xiaowei, motivate Xiaowei. Go, tell him what he's good at.
In English or what?
Yeah, no, so he understands, please. And then tell me.
报啊，你的 BP 应该会压他们吧？90开。
What did you say?
I said his ban pick is gonna be 90%, like 90% in favor of us.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What's this guy good at? Tell me. I know he understands.
He's gonna carry all of us.
He's gonna carry all of us. That's right, baby. Carry them like you're a farmer. They're on your back, son. He's ready. Look at that smile. He's ready. All right, what is this guy good at?
He's good at captaining. So
Captaining, baby. All right.
he's gonna lead us to the victory.
Leading to victory. Is that right? Okay, he's just smiling. And last but not least, what's this man good at?
He's good at making me happy.
Making you happy.
That sounds
How are
weird.
you gonna ask him how he's gonna make you happy here today?
你今天会用什么来让我开心？
什么东西
I say whatever that makes me happy, he will do it.
Fantastic. That's what it's about. Teamwork, respect.
Sounds weird.
Picking Beastmaster. That's what it's about. That's winning, baby. All right, they seem very hyped, very excited. Kind of. All right, we'll see how it goes.
Are you predicting anything today? Yeah, when the draft is done, I'll throw up my predictions on the specific games.
Tensions are high, guys. All right, we'll see.
Zeal and Planet, that's a Bobby situation in the making right there. They just want to make each other happy now. They
Chelsea
would make each
maybe
other
have
most
been beaten by,
happiest
but we
by
are
winning
making
their
progress. We
series
doubled our
today, and it
goal,
all
not including.
starts with drafting. That's right. It is time for our first match of the day.
Chelsea
The
is a
draft of
fat,
PSG
juicy
versus
rip, bro.
Talon coming your way after this.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
Yeah, you gon' need 100 men, 100 scopes, 100 cans, just for you to watch what I'm doing under the sun again. God-given gift, MCs doing the running man. If you want me to get it poppin', may cost 100 pence. Yeah, what I supply is always in demand. The throne is mine, take that. It ain't a high five, got the upper hand. I'm too real, can't fake that. Who you know putting fear in them like this? You a vampire, still suck when you bite this. Lord forgive me for my sins, I'm feeling righteous. But they been next to me to show me I might just. They didn't think I could do it, I had to demonstrate how the flow is so heavenly, keeping demons straight. Who they fooling? I showed them the jig is up again. When I asked them who is the best, they get this to stuttering. Tell them
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
I came this far, nothing can't stop me now. They knock me down, but they can't count me out. I can't lose, I won't lose. I can't lose, I won't lose. You may wanna save yourself. I think it's best you run away. I won't let you finish. When you came for me, you played yourself. You scream for help. It's a shame that nobody will hit me. No pain, no gain. Watch who you bang with. Make it to the top with the same ones I came with. I shoot my shot, you better know that I'ma never miss. When they coming for me, yeah, I'm gonna tell them this.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
The soil and the dust are trailing behind my boots.
Good evening, Baldy. How are you? Cool music. Yeah, well, it's the fucking ESL music, so obviously it's cool music.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
The first series of the day will feature PSG.LGD and Talon. It's a best of 3 to decide which one of these two teams will make it to a live crowd in just a few days, and therefore also secure top 8, which gets you the prizes, the DPC points, the money, and being left here, losing here, will mean you go home with nothing to show for. So that is a very big pressure on both of these squads. We should be in the draft momentarily. We have Talon getting priority in this draft. They chose first pick, after which PSG.LGD has chosen second pick. I'm joined by Jenkins, PPD, and No-Tail. And I'm just going to keep quiet for this one as we talk about No-Tail. You want to start with the AA ban? Because that's unusual.
Yeah, we were backstage. I was, in my memory, I also only had seen AA once or twice, but it's actually been picked more this tournament. But I think
Who'll win
three
map
of the
one?
times
I don't
almost
see a
won it.
fucking completed draft
2 or
yet,
3.
so
It was a hero
fucking
that was
no.
on my mind too when I started seeing some of these, yeah, like some of these trends and what people like to run, and I think it has a lot of value. So I can respect the ban, and I also think it starts a cascade of what jumps up in value or what Talon might be looking at. I don't know if it's some IO or if it's some alchemist, something that abuses auras and region. So I quite respect the A ban. I think the beast ban is also good, and we have to mention the Medusa. It's not been not been banned, so, and Talon has first pick.
Quickly, Jenkins, what's the best hero in Dota right now?
Pudge.
Come on. Well, what's the ultimate first pick?
It's Medusa. It's Medusa.
Oh, yeah, I think you're wrong. I think
Really?
I think it's Doom.
You think so?
I think it's Doom.
But do you think Doom beats Medusa?
I think so.
You really think so?
Yes, because I think one of the reasons Medusa is has no counters at the moment is because she's always able to get Stone Gaze off. There's not enough stuns and disables to sort of prevent her from casting this spell, and the carry goes in, Stone Gaze gets popped, he has to run away. Dusa now has that range separation, and he just, she does her thing.
Let's see if Talon agree with you, because now Dusa got out and Doom is still in. I do agree that Doom is up there.
Yeah, I think that the Doom prevents the Stone Gaze the same way that Chronosphere prevents the Stone Gaze as well, which we saw Ramses playing the Void. So I think in a similar vein, I think that's why it's good.
Oh, okay, they go for it. Because they had been not valuing this very high previously, Talon.
Yeah,
even in some of the series, it was completely ignored, but quite often it wasn't picked until second phase.
Very popular amongst other teams, though.
So they've been watching the last couple days, and they're like, okay,
and
I
scrimming.
understand.
I'm sure they've been practicing and changing up their own metric value system, whatever.
No-Tail, you had an interesting point backstage about Coddle and the way that he secures runes, right?
Yeah, early rune fights. Some heroes seem to have, a cute little mechanic. Whether it's the Blinding Light or the Rubik Lift or Disruptive Glimpse, you get into these rune battles, and this one click of a button just means that you acquire the rune.
Right? They can't click on it.
Yeah. Or it would be funny if it's like Coddle versus Rubik, because it's gonna be like, a moment of
Page from yesterday.
Elky boy! Elka's such a fucking strong hero right now.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And now he has a much better laning phase than he used to.
Yeah, having 2 spells that you can Chakra Magic and spam is pretty insane. Like, it felt like the, whatever, the Solar Bind, like that felt not so useful unless you're going for like a kill attempt.
And definitely one of the best shards in the game right now.
Yeah. You get it for free as well.
Quite often, yeah.
We see these Coddles also with their Illuminate being able to wave clear and farm, able to get these early items. We see the Pivis oftentimes being rushed, which is kind of like that poor man's team fight item or like team support item, and then we'll see the Solar Crest probably as well come out from the Coddle.
Yeah, with the extra cast range from the ult too. Like you're so far away and getting these defensive things on your team, protecting them. It's really nice.
And if people notice, I notice there's a big trend of making a hero hard to kill. It comes through auras, it comes through Pavis. In the mid game, you start seeing teams very often run out of damage, even though they have very cool heroes for damage. Like Alchemist can bring a lot, Skywrath can bring a lot, but if you start adding 1 Glimmer and 1 Pavis, this hero might not even go below 80%.
Yeah.
And it's so unfeasible to burst when heroes are in position. So yeah, I think a lot rests on how you take a lead and which items and which auras or whatever it is that you get first, and then making the scenario happen where a hero can be in front and not get bursted opens up the fight quite nicely, usually.
Can Alchemist be a support? Is that possible? We've seen it a handful of times.
It's not gone super well from when we've seen it.
I definitely don't think you want it as carry against Terrorblade, because I think you want that Radiance build. I haven't seen many other builds have success, and the Terrorblade Reflection kind of turns it on you.
Yeah.
which is not great.
I think the early timings for Alk are still really good, and in my view, it's a playable matchup. But definitely, the later it goes, the cooler the matchup is for TB. Getting the Scotty and high agility, high armor, and you start become you will definitely out team fight him. But I can see how. I mean, if you get a 9-minute radiance like EG did,
Sure.
I'm pretty sure you can beat any strat with that.
Is anyone going to be as farmed as Picasso's Alchemist yesterday?
Oof, I don't know. That record might last for a bit.
1,000 GPM? Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
When LGD has picked this, they've actually they've only run it on the mid position so far.
It's interesting bans though. So they're banning an offlaner, a carry, and a mid hero on Talon.
Zeal Panda. You like this first Terrorblade?
I love it. I mean, I'm a huge brew fan. I also think the brew in this patch is quite nice. Stuns getting nerfed and Tornado still being very strong. I mean, it also got nerfed, but like I think all these long duration stuns do have a place. I'm a huge brew fan. I think even if they nerf the shit out of the hero, I'm still gonna love it. You know, I have passion.
Brew is actually looking really strong right now. It's also really good against TB because it can one-shot the illusions.
Definitely one of the good heroes against TB, but you can run into issues, right? You get BKB Daedalus, your Pandas, your Bruling start dying. It really depends on how the fights go and how you manage it, but if you get the lift off first on TB and you force the fight on the rest, it's a hard counter, right? And you also get the Master Spell for illusions.
There's the Dragonite. Potentially mid, potentially off lane.
I think it's versus mid Alk, or like that's maybe what they're picking for. If I had to guess,
they're probably going to grab their 5 as well, unless they do Caudle 5. What sort of 5 could you see working with Terrorblade up against this Panda Skywrath?
Oof.
They need a healer, or do they want to try and fight back?
I think Gaming Gladiators would, for example, go for IO. I don't know if Talon is like an IO team. I think it's quite good. Also versus Brew, it can be quite good. It can go both ways.
They do play IO.
Yeah. I like the Rubik too. If it's still in, it is. I don't like the Disruptor as much here, but I think
DK, Astini would go wild right now with the DK pick.
I do think, that's why you're picking Disruptor. It's for a glimpse, and you might grief a bit on the lane and stuff. But I would prefer the Rubik or the IO. I do think Clockwork is also a good hero, but it seems to struggle sometimes.
Just risky, right?
Yeah.
Like
also these rune fights and what happens with these range heroes, and if you're laning with a TB, for example, it's not the best. Okay, they go for a Disruptor. I mean, Glimpses of a hell of an ability in this meta, this patch, I want to say.
Yep, but this does kind of give me some hesitation. I'm a little slightly worried about Disruptor and Terrorblade being able to lane up against Panda Sky.
Yes.
Some teams have solved this sort of laning issue by utilizing the portals and bringing a third support to help them in lane. Caudle could do that, however,
it's not the best.
Caudle maybe not the best. Another option for Talon would be to rotate both the Disruptor and the Terrorblade to the off lane through that portal whenever meta is up and try to disrupt the laning phase advantage that LGD may have.
I think it's very smart. I think some teams are already getting really good at this. Like Tundra, I think, are one of them that have abused this the most, especially when Saxo's playing Bounty Hunter. I think it's very hard to account for it, because often you're so zoned in and you're so focused on trying to get the lead and get the advantage that, if you're playing like somebody is in Fog or like the third hero is there, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. I think it would be ideal if Talon managed to pull it off, stabilize the lanes through rotations early.
LG is almost out of reserve time. They only have 10 seconds left, and they got to pick their carry right now, I think.
Panic!
Actually, no, they have second pick. They'll save it for last. They'll grab a support.
They'll grab support, right?
Oh, Baden!
Interesting.
That's new.
Could still be a carry.
Stop. You're not going to play carry a Baden against Terrorblade, okay?
I think this is a Caudle thing, honestly. I think it's, partly a Caudle thing. I think maybe there's a build or there's an idea that you're able to outtrade the Caudle on the lane, or like you're able to run at him, like the old Bounty Hunters were and stuff. Other than that, I mean, there's not really a lot of value in the shield, right? There's only a Dragonite stun. Disruptor is really good versus Abaddon.
Yes, that big AoE silence. Hard to go save your teammates when
Glimpse counters
Abaddon
in every way.
As
Not a
a
big fan of this
what,
pick, but,
actually?
Yeah, me neither.
It's new, it's refreshing. I'm always down for something else, and we'll have to see how it works.
I'm not sure if it's because Abaddon is not a strength hero anymore. It's a universal hero.
So if you wanted to, you
so that's why I'm a
still
bit
run this
confused on
out
how
carry,
they're going to
and
handle
this
it.
Abaddon can definitely boost you, and I think they won't have an issue on on the safe lane against most things.
So maybe they're playing for an early game timing.
Yeah, with the Radiance and the Brewmaster, and then you're gonna have to shut down the TB, or depending, like there could be a magical mid pick that adds, you know, a lot of TB counter scaling like later in the game. But I'm assuming that they're gonna pick some carry, maybe some range carry. I was gonna say Drow, they banned it. I think with Drow their lineup's still interesting, and it's still a very winnable game. Like the fights.
Yeah, what are some of the carries that?
I mean, you ideally look for something range with the Abaddon. If you go double melee, it needs to be, you know, strong and have strong abilities like Alk.
Yeah, they banned the Muerta. That was the other pick. Other
And
than
can
Drow.
go through the TB really fast, really
Arc
hard.
Warden, guys? Is it possible?
Huh?
Arc Warden? Is that
Yeah,
possible?
I'm a huge Arc Warden believer, but last time I saw Arc in this tournament, I think it was Spotify playing it.
Spotify?
Oh, Shopify. Oh my god, I did it.
Spotify.
They ran the Meteor Hammer Maelstrom, I want to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Maelstrom, what's it called, Meteor Hammer Midas, or...
I can look it up in here in a sec.
But it didn't really get to play. You didn't really get to see the Arc, but I'm a huge Arc Warden fan.
It would be a wild draft. I'm here for it.
Yeah. This patch, when you play the map a lot, like having the late game clone is super potent. I think the way you can play the map and the spark rates now, the way you can secure or scout areas is a super strong hero, potentially. But these things are often speculated, and then you try it in practice and you realize it doesn't work at all.
It's a really complicated hero now too, with the abilities doing different things, whether you're Radiant or Dire.
Right. There's this
It's
whole...
so weird.
Yeah. There's this whole... I mean, I have to reread the spells. I think I read it like 3 times. I still don't remember
There's
how it
Magnus.
goes.
That's their
Magnus,
their
okay.
teamfight hero
So
for jabs.
Talon's
Probably
got a
bunch of
pretty...
auras.
I like
Yeah.
Talon's
Most
lineup
likely
so
a
far.
Pipe, I would presume.
Yeah, he has been doing that.
Ah, there we go.
Oh,
So that's what they're
Tinker.
doing. Yeah.
Very good versus Terrorblade.
Wow.
Yes, and now I think the late game and how
Tinker?
this game develops is completely different, right?
You feel like Tinker, even if Alchemist doesn't scale super great versus Terrorblade, Tinker can kind of. be that
I'm
game
gonna
winner for them.
go
I mean, haven't you played
Talon
against those
on
Tinkers
this
in
one.
pubs? Haven't
I
you
have
felt
played
it?
against Tinker. You know, it's pub, so I feel like it's a little more disorganized. Tinker has a little bit more free reign.
Of course. But you've seen the power of like the Tinker, right? You felt it. I
Yes.
think most of us who have played against the Tinker and like felt the potential.
So many shields.
Suffered against the Tinker.
Suffered against the Tinker. But so there's 2 displacement abilities from Talon that are really strong against a hero like Tinker, a hero like Abaddon, even Brewmaster, and Alchemist won't enjoy the skewers.
It's
and the
an
glimpses this game,
interesting
so
pick.
I think it's far from easy for LGD, but I really enjoy their approach.
Yeah, I like it. This is gonna be a fun game. Something new.
Yeah.
Do we favor PSG.LGD in this one then? Because their overall last pick was solid?
I
We
think
haven't
so.
seen Mag had too much success so far in this tournament.
No, we have not. But we've been
Conceptually, I love LGD's draft. Alk carry, Brewmaster offlane, Tinker mid versus TB. I love it. I love what they're doing. I think this is super innovative and smart.
You want to take a prediction? I think he's LGD.
I mean, how could I go any other team?
All right, LGD. Unanimous.
Unanimous LGD, but if Talon is going to do this, on the back of who? Is it on the back of Jabs Mag? Is that really the one that we're looking at, as we said it before?
I think it's Makoto on the DK. What's he able to make happen? Tinker a little bit more of a farmer, DK more of a fighter.
I think all the stuns play a huge role in this game, but you are going to need the Terrorblade to hit his Daedalus BKB and to get the right clicks in the fight. Because if he doesn't, BKB gets wasted. Oof, I mean, this Brewmaster and Tinker is just going to control him, and then where's the damage going to come from?
And in a match like this, if it goes to 60 minutes, which we sometimes see in the case of Talon, I do need to talk about this for a second. Jenkins, is there any team in particular that scales best? Because I feel like both have got quite a decent 60-minute lineup.
Honestly,
Talon
I feel
support,
like a Tinker
which
against
team will
TB is
take 10K
really
with this
hard
draft?
for the TB, and the reason we thought Talon scaled better against LGD was because of the TB versus Alk matchup. So like, I got to go LGD for this one.
All right, we're finding out how this game is going to play itself out. It's game 1 of
First
the
and
series here,
kills.
and
I'm
we're
kind of liking
listening to-
LGD for first and kills. They've got pretty strong lanes.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, Talon up against PSG.LGD. Folks, what we heard it from the panel, they really like what PSG.LGD is doing here in this first game of this best of 3. Of course, lower bracket. Loser of this will be going home. They will be out at the major, so everything to play for today. So it sounds like Talon, they're up against a bit of a challenge then in this game on. Would you agree?
Definitely feels it. It feels like they have to out-execute quite a few times here in this one with like glimpses and displacements as they were talking about. So they're going to have to make some big plays because
I think LGD got exactly what they wanted. It's nothing to say playing Tinker. We are blessed. We get to watch this. And also, I'm a bit, you know, the Magnus, we've been very critical about it because it's very difficult sometimes to get the playmaking. And I feel like they actually made it, the Abaddon, like Abaddon we're all looking at, we're like, oh, this is a bit of a weird pick. It's the first time we have Abaddon in this tournament. And then they pick a Magnus into it. So I'm like, oh, they just made the Abaddon actually better. Because you can just ult, shield somebody. If they get RP'd, you can protect. We have lots of barriers and shields.
Now,
see what happens.
in their favor, they do have the follow-up of this Disruptor, right?
They absolutely
If you get the Static Storm down, then you can't make that sort of play. But you got to be quick with that sort of ripper play. And already here with the early action, we're seeing PSG.LGD in trouble. Zeal, he's going down. Talon, they'll get first blood. We'll see if they can get anything in return. They'll get Q, so a 1-for-1. See the chase continue over towards Shiro. He's cooking up a concoction. Be able to throw it back and hold back both 23 and Jazz, but the shockwave, it's back up, drags Shiro in, the breach fire's there. Talon, they'll be able to claim 2 kills out of this early engagement.
How many wands are there?
But it's going to be 3 bounties for LGD, so.
I mean, nothing to say. He's
NTS?
getting punched here by 23.
Well, that's gonna be a little annoying for his lane start, but he's versus a DK, so I don't think the harassment matters that much when he's playing in this matchup. If it was just range hero, maybe.
It's got what concussive again in a few seconds. I think Ollie's in trouble.
Ollie
So
trouble.
PSG, they should be able to settle the score here, keep it 2 for 2. As Planet finishes off Ollie.
Who got the runes? Looks like LGD got 3 of them.
It's crazy. Both teams very much giving each other a right proper punch here before the laning stage.
And I'm checking the wands immediately. We have heroes starting with 7 wand charges in the lane. So that's going to be funny to see how that ends up impacting any type of aggressive plays. Yeah, Shiro came prepared versus the spam lane. He has tons of regen. And honestly, getting these early bounties is important. 3 bounties for an Alchemist. He's going to have that little bit of extra gold to start off the lane. And he's got an Abaddon to back him up.
So what would you say is sort of your favorite thing about Talon's draft? Like what do they have that could come together and prove to be pretty strong against PSG.LGD? Maybe the point of the game where PSG.LGD may not be ready.
It's just a lot of catch. If they're able to get this like blink daggers and stuff online from Mikoto early, he's going to be the one I'm looking at to dictate pace and just make these very early aggressive moves to try to shut down the map. Because if you just give this map open to an Alchemist, to a Tinker, they're going to outscale you. So I'm looking at Mikoto a lot this game. So I'm going to be watching this mid lane, seeing how he does in the matchup versus NTS. And so far, very good for him. He should be able to free farm here.
It's a decent lane, right?
It's a very good
eventually, you don't really care about the spam of the Tinker. You can have that high enough regen. And, you know, laser, whatever. You've got the breathe fire to still be able to secure CS.
Did NTS just place a branch and then not have a tango for it? That was weird. He put it down. He's like, wait, I'm out of tangos because the level 1 fight used all my tangos.
Let's go, Army. Let's go, Army. Oi, 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 oi.
So I think it's important for me to look at that Talon does well in the lanes. You're playing against the Brewmaster. This hero sometimes can struggle inside laning phase a lot. I think, yeah,
Brew can do so much fucking damage if he gets his flap ready.
Zeal is both Zeal and Planet getting pretty low there in that attempt to step up. Ollie's going to be fine.
Summon Harridan. It's just summoning ritual. Army. Army. And otherwise it would be fuck that Eastern European player. What's his name again?
From the two PSG. Something that the
we used to play in one move.
Be tough for Talon to deal with, right? They have to be super heavy on the regen up here.
Yeah, I mean the level 1 battle kind of set them up for like a pretty damn good start in the laning phase though. 14-8 on the 2 cores right now, even 8-4 on the Magnus. Kind of a dream start for them inside these first few waves.
Saju, yeah, that was it, Saju.
Mid lane, 15 for 8 against the 8 for 1. Honestly, Mikoto, he's doing it fantastic. I say, if you sort of play this right, you definitely have that edge against the Tinker, and Mikoto, he's doing it perfectly so far.
As long as they keep the pressure on, and then I think the one big thing that you always have to worry about when you're playing versus the Tinker as well is to get ready for the stacks that are going to eventually start coming out. So I think eventually we will see, especially because the lane's a bit rough right now, I think we'll see Planet very likely start backing up, getting ancient stacks going, because that's how you recover a Tinker who has a bit of a tougher start. So Talon, excellent start here. Get ready for like the next things, you know. Sure. There's only 3 minutes in, but always think about this.
These lanes for Talon, they're looking great.
Yep,
top
amazing.
23's having a fantastic time. 21 and 10, and as I said, very much ready to deal with the spam.
I mean, is he?
Oh, okay, that blood grenade coming out as well. 23.
Can be close.
He's gonna go down.
And Planet suicides. He can decide to fill mid bottle if he wants to.
Yeah, of course, one of those heroes that never really feels too good to kill in return because that Scar's just going to be coming back with a full tank of mana.
He's like, oh, down to 49 mana. Suicide for the kill. Does end up committing for it. Blood grenade. Love to see that use.
LTV got smacked.
Looks like he's probably just going to go back top because NTS isn't able to get the rune. Y also just throws out a heal. Yeah, very good laning phase start. Either way,
top
look at these
3
denies.
CS on the 3 cores here from Talon.
I mean, the denies are insane.
Yep.
They have 30 denies across the board. While you look at the denies coming out from LGD, they have what, like 7, something like that? 6? Quick math, whoops. Yeah, massive start for them.
And now Zeal. They'll
dead.
get him. I mean, this is the thing. Even with this top lane, sort of your 23 dying in that earlier situation.
Summon me
there's still
instead.
plenty
Oh
of stuff in
no!
return.
23 almost just died.
Undo the
God,
summoning.
that was actually so close. I don't think he expected all that damage from the concussive. That was dropped to what, like 30 HP or something.
Yeah, just all about trying to sustain through the damage that Planet's thrown out up here.
Dude, Mikoto is just, he's on fire, and this is exactly what they need. Dominating mid right now.
I mean, I guess PSG.LGD with their lineup, do they really sort of have tools to bring anyone in towards this mid, or do you not really want to be ganking this DK?
They absolutely can. You can maybe wait until like the DK form gets popped, you bait it, and then you make a rotation with something like that Skywrath. It has to be the Sky though, in particular. And I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how much.
How is
wants to look to
Mikoto
make
doing
boosts
this
early
well
side,
in
just
mid?
getting, like,
It's
stacks and stuff
kinda
like that, but it could
surprising.
happen if he sees an angle.
I mean,
Actually,
Tinker
CQ
gets
looking
strong
to
once
make
he
the
hits
move
level
first.
6, but still.
Mikoto has hit 6. MTS has to be
He's kind of low enough to say, and he's going to get caught out.
TP's coming in.
Coming in from both sides. We'll see if they've got enough damage to bring Nothing to Say down. Why you
Get
smiles in with the
glimpse.
aphotic shield. And that will be enough to allow Nothing to Say to step away there. Both teams bringing in the supports. PSG.LGD, they'll be able to keep their Tinker alive. Does mean he's still having to walk back to base, so a bit of an opportunity to get some punches in onto the tower now in the mid here for Mikoto.
Really good moves. Double rotation supports. Planet looking to move back toward the mid lane to help out. But yeah, Tinker has to go back to base.
But we're really, it's just complete free farm for Talon in all 3 lanes so far. 2K lead already is 6 minutes in.
They might even get planted here.
I think they will. Dragon Tail Stone from Mikoto. And maybe with the shield they can save him. Nope, the glimpse is there. Ollie's got the catch. Planet goes down. A kill here for Mikoto.
And they're saving the rune. Still sitting bottom. Mikoto can go get that DD if he wants to. Uses the glyph. Wants to get a bit more tower damage with this catapult on it. And Jabs, I believe he's even trying to get a skewer.
I mean, he was playing in a very risky spot there. It'll be fine, but definitely take quite a bit of a punch
Let's
there.
go, Talon,
I like the build that we're seeing
baby!
Jabs doing. We saw the other day the
Southeast Asia
arcane
pride!
boots and straight blink dagger
Woo!
that came out from Whisper. That just makes it very difficult because you feel like you always have to make plays. He's just going farmy route. He's got Vanguard. He's very safe in the lane, going for treads. Move up top.
They're going to see if they can get Ollie.
Even though I love Shiro.
He's going to be in with the backup, and now 23, he's able to turn with the Metamorphosis, take down Zeal. He's got the stun to hit, 23 gets himself back up to full HP, will allow him an opportunity to look towards Why You Smile, they'll get the 2 kills.
Big kills. Oh,
Holding their own in this sort of laning situation. This is just an overall early game from Talon so far. It's looking like one of the best early games we've seen so far from them in this whole tournament.
It's amazing. I mean, Mikoto, even the Tinker leaves the lane, so he just has a DD rune, nearly gets the entire tower. Now he can beat on it as well.
7 minutes in, pretty much taking this down. I don't think this
They're
early game
crushing
could
it.
really be going any better for Talon.
No.
3K lead, 7 minutes in, and just in full control across the map.
Yeah, it's flawless right now. Wisdom runes also to be claimed. Ollie, he's going to be able to grab that one as Disruptor. Very important. to
Shiro
get it on that
should be
hero.
fine, though.
And Owen, there's been no time for Planet to stack yet. So for this Alchemist, for this Tinker, it's definitely going to be a slower start than I think they anticipated. Talon playing this early game, honestly, quite perfect. And yeah, I really like the itemization from Jabs, because then he can just sit down here. He's got max in power, so he's able to farm, buff up his cores. And Mikoto, yeah, tries double bracer, likely to get that blink so he can close the gap onto Tinker and have that hard stun also for Brewmaster. This is absolutely the most ideal thing they could have right now.
And of course, you know, it was sort of, and the panel talks about the strengths and what they liked about PSG.LGD's draft.
Yep.
Is that something that sort of doesn't come to fruition if PSG.LGD get run over?
Yeah, they absolutely could get run over with the way that Mikoto's having this start. Like, he's literally just getting played around from the 2 supports. They have this great catch from the glimpse as well with him. I want to see what itemization it is from Q. Yeah, go
I really dislike I'll
definitely
but I
good
still want
Glimmer game,
LGD to win.
beast.
Aren't you
The snowball
fucking
is
Southeast
absolutely
Asian, you
potential there for
bastard?
Mikoto.
Because I imagine that is something about
To be
PSG.LGD's
fair,
lineup, when you've got like the
nothing
Alchemist,
to say, of
Tinker,
course,
Brute.
is also
It's pretty greedy, right? And the 2 supports, whilst they offer damage
Malaysian,
and save,
so
they don't have that stun right.
Okay,
they
I
don't have
can
that way
allow
to
it
start
this
fighting.
time.
In fact, in terms of stun, it's just a concoction this game, Fogged.
Yeah, until the Bruce Blitz online, which it is now.
So limited ways to sort of start with sort of a hard connection at the beginning of a fight, which, you know, without that sort of ease of stunning, means it's rather likely that Talon's heroes, even their supports, are going to be able to get into position, lay down these ults, follow up with static storms, for example, as well.
Again, Zeal going for the play. Gets the
The
split
ult
off.
See if they can do anything offensive with that. Probably not. Talon is set up under the tower, so they'll be able to bait out this primal split and wait it out.
Zeal's going to try to get some tower damage here, but they could look to re-go on him as soon as it ends. He's got to be careful. This Earth Panda.
He's already stepping out. See if they can find him. Makoto's in. In with the Dragon Tail stun. I don't think there's anything PSG.LGD can to save this, man. They have to let Zeal go down. He's gone.
That was very
That's the
ambitious
thing,
there from Zeal to get some tower damage.
Is Zeal also Southeast Asia?
Yeah,
Probably.
popping the split. Wanted to.
But to be, I don't care about all that. I care about my prediction.
They're just taking towers. The whole time also, Jabs is
True.
still playing on the bottom side, pressuring Shiro. This is fantastic moves, and I believe, yeah, level 6 is now out for Ali pre-10 minutes.
Yeah, playing super fast here, Talon. We're just 10 minutes in.
Playing around Mikoto's strength, just how much he dominated that lane matchup. Treads blink, bracers. Even with the Tinker spam, they cannot stop this push. 23 gets the last hit. Ali looking for the glimpse.
Get him back in the field. See if Zeal can do anything to help out. 23 with the aggressive stun to bring Zeal down super low. Zeal will not be punished. Able to get back. Nothing to say, he's getting his items online. The Blink Dagger's now here, so a bit better of a chance for him to get in good position to get a few rounds of the spells off in these early fights.
They're looking to punish Jabs here. He's pretty tanky.
Yeah, treads on Vanguard. See if they can have him. If there's any backup that's going to be coming in, TPs are heading over. With the Ancient Seal and the
Can they get the kill?
first year Tinker, he's getting bought low. Jabs. Jump forward
Yes,
here
they
from Nothing
can,
Self. Finish it off.
but
It's a nice 3-man Static Storm.
unfortunately,
Nothing
just a
else
sec
to
too
follow
late.
this up, so they won't be able to turn anything back in their favor. Talon, as they'll just have to accept that Jabs, he's going down there.
Tanky, but not tanky enough for all the magic damage. Shiro starting to recover. He is pretty much neck and neck with that TB. Everyone else is a little bit behind, and I mean, they're just punishing Zeal.
Yeah, 15 seconds until Primal Split. Zeal, he's got no way out of this.
He needs pipe. Yeah, he's queuing it up immediately. Small little silver lining for Zeal, though. He has an urn, so every time he dies, he gets an urn charge. You know, that new change. Does feel a little bit good, but yeah, Talon. This is quick. They're playing super fast-paced. Keeping the jumps going. Another one.
They get the catch in the mid. Immediately on top of Nothing to Say. He's going to try and TP out at this.
He's not living.
It's too much damage. And now they can
6
make
gain it with
Planet's
lead.
gonna be
Let's go,
safety for the moment being with the
Talon.
Aphotic Shield from Why You Smart, but the stun's still there. 23 swings over from the top. He's now on a killing spree. Takes out another. It's 12-5. Coming up at 12 minutes in.
Mikoto instantly ports bottom. They see Shiro alone for a second.
Go here from Talon.
They know the Abaddon TP'd in the mid lane.
Yeah,
they saw him.
They know that PSG.LGD right now, they cannot
some
deal with the
tier 1
momentum that
players.
Talon's bringing. They get the jump in on the bottom lane. Shiro, get the Chemical Rage off.
He's surrounded,
Is
though.
Miracle
There's
actually
4 or 5
back in
there's
the
actually
team?
5 heroes coming down from Talon.
I mean, TPs are starting to come in.
Like,
And they protect him.
is he
Turn
back
this
for
around,
good?
get the blast back onto Shiro,
Enigma.
glimpsed as well. He's
Or was
still
he
in
only
love with that
subbing?
Chemical Rage, though. Ancient Steel over towards Jabs. Talon, they're holding themselves with the fireman, and Mikoto is ready to jump back in. They'll look for the squishy kills first. They'll try for Planet, but the Aphotic Shield's there from Why You Smile. Planet safe.
Mikoto.
Shiro, some of the concoction onto Mikoto would be a big kill if they can take down this DK, and they'll get him. Nothing to Say picks up the kill and gets the goal.
Glimmer, dispelled.
Chasing up to the tier 1, they want to try for more.
Good
Static Storm
silence.
from Ollie. Lay it down means there's no immediate throw of the concoction. Still the rockets coming out from Nothing to Say, bringing Ollie down
They get
low.
a TS.
But they're going to get the catch
The
on him.
tumblers.
Jabs finds
Oh
him.
my
Gets
lord,
him under the
Jabs,
tower.
that
Nothing to
play.
say. He's up to the
That
high ground,
play
they'll
from
take him
Jabs
out.
was
It will
nuts.
cost Jabs his life though. So PSG.LGD, they continue to find the majority of kills so far. 3 for 1. Zeal. He stepped up. One way Smile, see if he can get him out of this one. But 23 wrapping around. Heal with the missed coil. Zeal still alive. The final blast from Q will end it.
What a back and forth trade.
I mean, they lose Jabs, but yeah, able to sort of secure both Nothing to Say and Zeal towards the end of the fight. Talon, they're still finding these big core kills, and of course in this action, 23 turning up, staying alive, 3-1 and 8. He's still getting a lot out of these early plays.
It's big kills. They are shutting down Zeal a lot, though. And the one thing is NTS, he does get a couple recover kills, and Shiro, he actually does survive throughout all of it on this Alchemist. So he is getting closer and closer toward Radiance. It's a good fight. It's a beautiful tumblers. Did you see that? Like, it's pretty much again, Blink Dagger. Jumps down to the river, pulls him into tower. But the Alchemist does survive, which is the big important thing then on the side of PSG.LGD.
Back in action though, Talon, they get back on with the push. They'll take out that third and final tier 1 tower. So still hitting these timings, 13 minutes in, when they've been able to take all of those, and of course back on their side of the map, you know, they're yet to lose any towers here against PSG.LGD. Radiant's timing, it's done.
It's done. I mean, it's not a 9-minute Radiance like Pakaz got, of course, but they're under so much pressure with the way the Talon's moving fast. And Jabs, hey, he's going very greedy, to be honest with you. Jabs has gone Echo Saber. So Vanguard treads Echo Saber on this Magnus.
I mean, he's a greedy lad, Jabs.
He is very greedy.
This is sort of the kind of build that we've come to expect from Jabs. We'll see if it works out.
We'll see
you know,
if this
kind
one
of going
works.
for this. It does feel like sometimes in the Talon games, the sort of the lack of auras or the slowed down speed in which they come online can hurt them sometimes with their style.
5K lead still off to an amazing start. They got to keep that pressure going.
Dude, that game's like
recovery
$6.
outlet is very fast. When they're playing with an Alchemist and Tinker, these two heroes farm absurdly quick. Keep getting that pressure
I'm just
forward.
enjoying
There's
my
gonna be some big timings, of
Dota
course, that come out. One from
viewage
this
right
Tinker,
now.
He has been massively slowed down, but
By the
it
way,
is
what do
that
you guys
hero that
think
just
of
completely destroys
me and
Talon if he's
Astini
able to get
casting?
onto the
Except
same
for the
level as
couple
him.
of, you know,
TS, even though
argument
in a rough
fights
lane,
that we
he's
had,
fine, too.
which...
Shivas will make it
Yeah.
very difficult for a lot of these heroes to fight. Good aggressive plays, Talon. Got to keep it up. Get the catch. Should be able to find this Abaddon.
Yeah, they should be able to get him through the borrowed time.
The blips.
Yeah, they'll drag him back into the clutches of 23.
Give it a 23.
Oh, TP though.
Oh,
he.
Oh my
That
God.
one, he nearly got out of that one.
He bonked him a bit too far up.
Winter's still the best pairing with you?
The way they get the kill.
I think so as
Manta
well.
finished up for 23, level 11.
Any chance of looking for an early Roche with Talon's lineup, or not really something that they're geared up to do yet?
They absolutely, they can. The thing is, LGD will probably look for going into that fight too.
Sure.
Zeal is very strong, even though he is very fragile. It's all about just if he gets the ult off early. Towerblade can focus down some of the Broodlings, but he also just has a lot of different ways to just control this TB. As long as he gets ult off, he'll be able to wipe the illusions with his cleanse. Or the dispel, whichever one you want to call it. If he's able to get on top of them and throw them in the air, can cause issues. So Talon sitting back a little bit, trying to get some farm here, but it's giving time to LGD to catch back up.
Well, you smile. Forward time still on cooldown. He's going to be able to get out in time with the kinetic field. They'll tell with the H is still the Mystic Flare, and they'll just destroy Ollie.
He's trying to, I mean, that's a bit of an over-aggressive move there from Talon. Can't even get the kill on the Abaddon. They don't even finish off the Ancient stack. He just brought it low.
Yeah, whilst Talon were able to get that early lead, the momentum's certainly starting to get slowed down. The sort of 5K lead, it's been hovering around this point, and the game's stabilizing and could indeed be a bit of a concern considering the strengths of PSG.LGD's draft overall against Talons.
I want to see what Jabs decides to commit for. He's got 2,500
I
gold.
think he's probably thinking if he wants to get the blink.
I think so.
It's
okay.
Just going to go for the BKB, so completely building for himself it.
Right.
Which, yeah, absolutely, it could pay off. If he can get in and get that RP, it could be huge. But at the same time, as obviously you're pointing out with the draft, you know, if you're going all in on trying to just get in and pop RP, if it gets countered by a cute Abaddon play, it's going to feel kind of rough.
+4 is richer than... But that's what happens a lot this back.
Always get the jumps as well, too. Yes, they have the glimpse and everything for displacement, but yeah, I mean,
Once
Jabs
the
do this sometimes.
progressively get better.
Wants to get a little bit more farm.
But shot tends to always be brutal.
Recovery.
You mean day one? The reason why day one from my casting was brutal because OG was playing. My first cast was OG, and then all the fucking OG viewers, they're like the most toxic of everyone.
Why?
Has Necrophos ever been picked in this major? Skill rework seems fun. Yeah, it has been picked.
We'll be shifting position.
I'll actually check
about
out.
2 minutes.
Go to no.
Yeah, looks like BKB done for Shiro.
See.
Probably gonna wait for multiple timings to come out on the side of LGD. I think the Shivas is getting closer and closer. How's Bruise levels?
Three picks,
he probably
2
won't be able to
wins,
get the level
1
12
loss.
before a fight kicks out, but they're gonna be hitting a pretty good timing here for them if they want to fight back into all this. 23 still massive. That is the one big thing, but yeah, you can definitely see LGD. They're finding outlets to farm in the map and not get pressured as much.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the strengths of with this new map and being a Tinker, just so many places to go.
There's so much farm. It doesn't matter. Like, sometimes it's like, oh, you're building like 3 greedy kind of things. There's so many places you can do it.
Yeah. It's always such an investment if you want to kind of gear up as a team and go on a hunt for this Tinker. Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
It's fight time, at least for the Alchemist. BKB's ready. They can start setting up for some moves here, and I think Planet has. Okay, he actually has a full Solar Crest on this Skywrath. Solitaries do this build as well. It's very strong.
Oh, your Lamau bot's gone?
And,
Wait.
yeah, man, Jabs is going all in. He wants the harpoon.
What? Okay.
I mean,
it's versus Tinker.
I like it.
But there are going to be barriers.
Magnus,
Just got to remember, there's going to be...
Magnus doesn't necessarily win.
Why does my Streamlabs bot just sometimes die or not?
Jabs,
It just vanishes. Now again.
Definitely an interesting approach. We'll be able to, of course, I mean, he's good versus these range kind of heroes and stuff like that, but have to remember there's going to be barriers. So this Tinker, he's going to get shielded. He's going to be self-barriered as well, too, in a lot of instances.
We'll see. We'll see if sort of this aggressive build works out for Jabs rather than sort of building, it's kind of the auras and things to try and keep his team alive against stuff like the Tinker. They just don't sort of have that right. We've got any Greaves or Pipes or anything? No. Not on Talon.
No, they're going double Glimmers on the supports, which will be nice in a way for the Terrorblade, but...
Glimmer's big.
And they are prepared for this fight up here. Shiro, you said BKB at the ready. Talon, everyone's here.
Let's see if they can get this fight going, Talon. 23. Let's start with the meta. Look towards Planet. Coach being cooked up by Shiro. See them turn towards Planet. Planet still alive. They'll finally bring him down. Jabs in with the BKB. Able to put an end to the Skywrath. Primal splits there from Zealous. He'll push back Q.
LGD doesn't like this one. They're resetting. The Brew's just dying.
Oh, they're going to find why you're smiling in the trees.
What's the command when you got raid? Exclamation mark SO, so shout out.
Good preparation.
Do it back from Jabs. They get the three of them.
Talon.
Well held there by Talon. And honestly, the BKB very much working nicely for Jabs. He's just able to pop it, get in, and just punch down the supports.
Yeah, actually looks amazing, that one. And now they can set up for the Roche. Swap sides. They may catch NTS here. Bit close. The perfect jump. I mean, they catch Planet slipping a little bit there. He steps up a bit far. They full initiate and come in onto the Skywrath. And the Primal split, it's only level 1. So at this point, they can focus fire it with that TB in position.
Yeah, I mean, see, just honestly great front line from Jabs. Skewers in, immediately couple of hits, punches out. Planet.
He actually hurts quite a bit. Like, look how much he was doing to the Brew.
This is the great thing about this build. You punch hard. You punch like a truck at this sort of stage of the game. Just 20 minutes in with this Echo Saber BKB. It's very annoying for these supports.
And they prepped for this move also. They have Ward Vision already down bottom. Double wards being set up, and yeah, they'll finish off the Roast 23.
Yeah.
Being enabled.
Previously when Trent raided you and I shouted out and no shit,
I
I feel like a fool.
Okay.
Oh, that's because my cloud bot was turned off. I didn't stream enough.
He's actually opted to TP out of this, and you know what? He's going to get away.
Like it.
They can't put a stop to it. Jabs, he's out as well.
It just randomly says fuck off and dies.
They don't have a lot of options when it comes to stuns, PSG.LGD, so TP scrolls, they're your best friend if you're Talon.
Shiro couldn't finish off the Coddle. He got the stun actually on both supports instantly, but didn't have quite enough to finish him with the Force Staff and the Glimmer on Coddle. Good treat there from Talon, not wanting to take the fight without
Oh,
that.
I went to the gym yesterday and now all my everything
Back to
hurts.
the farm going. 23.
Well, I think Jabs, he's on the hunt for the Wisdom Rune, right?
They got Planet.
Is that Wisdom Rune still there? It is. Easy Wisdom Rune for Jabs. Thank you very much.
Feels like I'll keep scaling. Thank you very much, team. My DK is playing more sacrificial, so I'm going to be another core.
I mean, yeah, I'd say like...
NTS, Blinks on top of Jabs. Jabs is going for it.
I mean, he's going to have to run. Now, they won't be able to kill him, though. Like that. There's no killing this Magnus, that's for sure, especially when he's got BKB up.
That's great confidence, though. I like it.
He can go where he wants, honestly.
He's playing super aggressive.
He is. So far, I feel like the early game very much sort of carried by Makoto, and now, you know, Jabs, this is his part of the game.
Absolutely.
This Magnus is definitely a problem right now for PSG.LGD.
Him in 23. Super farmed. Zeal is very far behind still, 1 in 7 as the Brewmaster, but has hit level 12.
Sure.
So does have that level 2 primal split. It'll be quite a bit stronger. I believe was the level 2 one the one that got buffed? I think it was just the level 1 one. Yeah, it was just the level 1 one mostly got buffed. Either way, it's a lot tankier now at this point. But Talon, yeah, keeping it up. Looking good.
Jabs, yeah, we closing in on the pipe. Just a ring of health short. So a good sort of a best of both worlds build really here on the Magnus game.
Yeah, I like it.
And with that, I think it's going to get close to the point where I think Talon's going to seriously consider trying to push the high ground. You know, when you get the pipe out on your Magnus, you've got the Skadi pick up on 23. They're strong.
They are. They have a lot of sustain,
They're going to
too.
try and force this quite a bit.
Yep, with the Coddle behind, they have a ton of sustain. And also, in the meantime, while they've been playing super aggressive, I've been watching Ollie. He's gathering Lotuses, Owen. He's got a greater healing Lotus. So it's quite a bit that it does do. It's like this mini cheese that's going to come out onto some of these cores.
Sure.
Really good aggressive plays. And yeah, Scotty's done. They might have a timing here to force a little bit.
I think so.
Just don't overforce it. Just poke, force heroes back, and then get out. But maybe not something you ideally really want to do versus a Tinker sometimes. So looks like maybe they will back up and just keep going the farm.
I think
Illusion's
going to
get some push, though.
I think they want to go. It's only going to get harder to push high ground. You want to go now.
I played a game of bots and got enough
Photo?
great to
Who's
loot
thinking
this,
about it?
but the fucking teammate bot snatched my cheese.
I don't know
I
if the
still
high ground
haven't
is gonna get any
done
easier
that
this
a single time, the
They-
fucking
I feel
cheese
like at this
shit.
point there's a bit of a sweet spot.
But Owen, this is, you know, it's Talon sometimes tells himself, they're probably like, okay, guys, like,
well, let's take this game to 60 minutes.
Take it easy. Like, you know, we want to take a late game, but let's see, 23. He wants to poke it. Okay.
You have to. The correct call there for 23.
Forces the Tinker back.
You want to get something going here. You want your team pushing with you. Get something done with this Aegis. You do not want to go late against this Tinker.
Let's see if they can find NTS at all. Tower drops. Still 90 seconds.
Force out the fortification. I think still with this Aegis, stick around, especially with the meta still going. No need to back off. Got to try and get everything that you can here.
Might be able to finish it. And they will.
And they do. Now see if the
Teal gets
PSG
silenced.
can punish it, but indeed the Static Storm there immediately responds. He gets in, but the silence late.
That's a
He
big
trips him
fat
up.
catch.
He's gone. Why Ismail as well, taken down. Not only getting the racks there, Talon, but reacting perfectly there. Indeed, the tips coming out for Ollie as he was prepared for that brew attempt.
That was lit. I mean, we need to see. That was instant. That was the first reveal. Like Zio, I think he tried to trip them up, getting this Blink Dagger to get on top of him. Ollie, what a reaction. They can keep going. Still 40 seconds.
You've got 2 dead. Talon, yeah, they've just itemized perfectly for sort of this 25-minute attempt to just really push the advantage.
And also the cooldown reduction coming in
It's massive.
for the
And now he's
meta.
got Harpoon too.
Now he's big.
It's dying. Another Rax. Perhaps the fall.
Hey, there we go.
Harpoon.
Oh,
Skewer.
Harpoon into the skewer back there. Jabs with the catch.
What the fuck?
And now they can turn for more. Why you smiles out of the game?
Oh my god.
I mean,
That
the split
play
behind Seal. We'll see if Seal and nothing to say can
was
find
nuts.
anything here on the defense. Double buybacks coming out from Why You Smile and Planet.
Jabs is playing like a fucking
Talon,
beast.
23 still got the Aegis, but it's going to expire in 5 seconds. Aegis is now gone.
I mean, Jabs is doing some cool plays attempts with these Harpoons. I mean, he catched a godly one there.
30 seconds, no Shearer.
Fucking Harpoon Magnus Skewer.
Back up in 10 Owen.
Huh.
They keep going.
They're
They
doing
need
it.
to.
Talon, another
They
jump.
in. They get the jump on Seal. Aphotic Shield's there from Why You Smile, but Seal is going to get dragged back by the Glimpse. He's out as well. No buyback.
Another
Talon,
Harpoon skewer.
he's going to get the drag back on Why You Smile as well. Borrowed times there, but only for a few seconds as it comes to an end. So does Why You Smile's life. He's out of the game. Talon, they've got to keep this push going. They're looking to close it up.
I mean,
Onto
they're
the
so
tier
strong.
4s here.
This is unbelievable plays here. Talon, such confidence. The jumps. Jabs again. Harpoon skewer.
Another grab.
Okay,
Shiro
this is
just
legit.
straight back into the Static Storm.
GG.
They've done it. GG is
So
cool.
the Harpoon,
I think that's the best Dota we've seen Talon player at this major. That was
that was
from the
actually
laning
nuts.
stage to the build up with the items. As you know, always a lot of eyes on Jabs. It was perfect this game. It worked out perfectly. The BKB Vanguard Echo gets him fighting, picks up the pipe, and then getting this Harpoon at the end. It was just a game ender. You step up, he drags you in, skewers you back, shuts you down, and everything else around him. Ollie with those clutch Static Storms, 23 with the TB timings on his farm. This was just great stuff from Talon, and this is one of the reasons why people say you got to watch this team.
It's best plays, and you know what it is? Little mistakes with absolute confidence. That's something that we've seen Talon sometimes struggle with. This game, that confidence was there.
That
The
was
jumps were perfect.
fucking.
Honestly, the Harpoon looked. It pretty much was a blink dagger. That was
looked
actually
great.
so cool. Those last.
That was wild.
And the
Yeah,
confidence to
exactly. It
push,
was
itemization
pretty much
was
a
good.
blink
Didn't even
dagger.
use the
That's
Greater Healing
Thompson.
Lotus, and yeah.
Did Thompson make that
That was
Magnus
something
build?
spectacular.
It really was. Talon out on absolute fire. I mean, all 5 of their members. Yeah, Makoto from the laning stage to his early moves on his DK, fantastic. Q getting the Keeper of the Light, you know, one of the greatest supports heroes to have right now on your team, and he pushes it to the max, 5-1 and 15. Just great stuff all around. PSG.LGD completely shaken up, and despite some of the potential strengths of their draft, they just never really got to play it. Talon runs them over here in this game 1.
Harpoon Magnus coming to a pub near you. I can only imagine that we're going to see a lot more of that, because that looked incredibly fun and incredibly strong. It's Talon to take game number 1 here of this best of 3 elimination series. And before the game started, we looked at the draft. My panel was unanimously going the way of PSG.LGD. Jenkins, what do you got to say for yourself?
That's right, Shiver. You know, on average, as analysts up here, we do have 3 TIs between us. So, you know, obviously we know what we're talking about, but nobody knows better.
We have 3
than
TIs
these teams
between
that
us.
are currently competing, that are feeling the patch, that, you know, they feel like they have this
just
idea
played
of the
yesterday
game
with
that
Magnus.
is,
Oh, with the Harpoon
you know,
Echo.
up to date with
Okay.
the meta. We saw the Harpoon on Jabs. We saw his build.
That's
Echo
kind of
Save
what I
Rock.
mean.
What is this guy
Of
doing?
course,
Where's the
fucking
Crimson?
Thompson does
Where's
that.
the pipe? Guess what? He doesn't need those things if he's harpooning the damn alchemist out of the base, Shiver.
Yeah. No, it was a fun performance from Jabs, but we gotta break this game down because Noto, this was very strong. Like Talon out of the gates, basically they won all lanes. Felt like
they won all lanes. The early game went to it was messy. It was not at all what LGD needed and what they had hoped for. You pick this Brew Sky with the idea that you can enter a lane and you can keep harassing, keep applying pressure, and eventually you get your Brew 6, and that's going to turn into either a fight, a kill, a tower push, or something much more. I don't know what happened really for the lane top, as in like this whole early game, it just crumbled really quick. I think maybe the Slacks interview was too tilting or something. I don't really know, but I think if this game got replayed and the early game is a little bit more stable, you might see a lot more of what we saw in the bottom fight, where the Tinker and the Brew actually get to click their spells, and you see Talon with a lead, they have to retreat, and they start getting picked off. There's some awkwardness still with the Abaddon Skywrath, having the one stun or only an Alchemist stun. But yeah, like having the mid lane and your off lane go this poorly and get this pressured, I think at this point the drafts start mattering a lot less, as in you can make a lot more work with the heroes that you have. So yeah, I mean, big up to Talon, because I think it's also what this patch is about. Is before the lane spawn, you can start your win.
Yeah, if you can make something happen in that early pre-game, I guess is what we can call it. It could sort of skew the laning matchup. Right, if you feel like you're having a disadvantage and all of a sudden your carry gets first blood or your offlane gets first blood and he starts the game with, he's halfway to Vanguard or something, like it matters a lot.
Do you guys think it's actually practical to like play for that? If you know that you've been drafted into like losing lanes, to go for some like early smoke, play some
Harpoon is a very good item, but the stats are met and carried only by melee.
Pretty much. Is that actually worth playing for?
I think it's good as a team to do something
I think those GPMs are reversed.
Can't be right.
I mean, we say pre-game, right?
Maybe they're swapped.
I think
they're swapped.
Might have deleted his items
Yeah,
again or
maybe
something like that.
His GPM definitely was a little bit higher than that.
But this is what we talked about. It's like the lane might not be in their favor at all, like theoretically, TB Disruptor versus Skywrath Brew. And if you can do something, adding an extra hero there, or if you can do something before the lanes meet.
Team Special Phoenix team were all eliminated yesterday.
When the runes spawn and lanes meet, it starts, the second the game is on.
Aster's still alive, right?
And yeah,
with,
you should be playing then, and if some team starts...
Are they in the upper bracket?
Whatever, like shifting things into their advantage, that means you weren't ready for their play, you weren't ready for what they were going to do, so...
I like to think as like when you're thinking about your laning phase, you need to think about
no, they're lower bracket. They're up against Liquid later
see, like,
or tomorrow.
Player go for like the 4 player go for the runes and like the safe lane, and then he's late to the off lane, for example. Like that could be the thing that
oh yeah, I remember they 2-0'd Spirit with a mid
having success in that Panda versus Terrorblade matchup. All of a sudden, your game plan is just thrown completely out of order.
You need to make sure that this works for you. And if something throws you off, or the enemy makes a play, and you fall for it, or they get what they want, well, yeah, you already lost the first battle. Like Dota is a million small battles that eventually lead to something, and I think they couldn't afford to lose the first ones like this. They really needed this Brewmaster to be able to stay on his lane, get level 6 before the TB, either shove him out or like kill him, get the tower, and get your own game going. I think he was surpassed by the Coddle like super early in net worth. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, this Brewmaster was not the showing that the Brew has potential for.
Q had an amazing game on his Keeper of the Light. He only died the once, which I think is already impressive when you're playing up against Tinker.
Dude, Coddle is in general fucking amazing this batch.
To rest, and we're gonna also get some respite from the panel for a second, because we're gonna check in with Slacks. What are you up to?
That's right. Hello, Sir Action Slacks, reporting live from the scene here. It is an incredible sight. I believe I am on the scene of a murder here today, a hit and run. Very quick. Talon is coming in. They're not only beating games, but they're also running in and out of the booth. You can see an innocent right there going into his booth. The crowd around here is absolutely unbelievable, Sheever. LGD looked pretty sad, did not move around a lot, and as Talon, I heard them making bird noises. That's right. We heard a lot of screech, ah! And they were all doing this to each other. It was absolute pandemonium down here. Reporting live from Berlin, Germany. Studio, any questions, anything that you'd like us to cover?
No, I think we've got it covered then.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Police are here. Paramedics are standing
Fucking
by. For
slacks.
game 2, anything could happen. The situation continues to
My
develop
arm
here
hurts.
in Berlin, Germany.
Thank you very much, Sir Action Slacks, who is on the floor right now, as Talon did indeed take the first lives of PSG.LGD. Will they take their tournament lives? So that's the question. Now, we are all about adaptation and moving forward. You gotta adapt. If anything, on a new patch, you have to adapt like every single game. So we want to see some adaptations as well for PSG.LGD. Where did they need to change things? Because it wasn't necessarily the draft, Peter, or was it?
I'm not messing around on this panel anymore. Hey, if I see any more hipster picks, I'm calling them out.
All right.
No more Abaddons. I don't even want to see Tinker. Like, I think you need this mid laner to initiate and start the fights for your team. The same way we've been seeing every other team that's having success in this tournament do it. If you, like, we saw them lose their lanes, they have like 2 carries who are trying to get back into it. There's just no way for them back in. And, I mean, you could go all in and say, like, hey, we're going to win our lanes. But if you don't, and your draft is set up this way, it's over.
I mean, I think the nicheness, I mean, you have a point. Like, there's a nicheness to it when you start switching out from the norm, and you have an alchemist that you rely on starting the fight, and you also don't pick any good stunts on your supports, and you're doing
I'm
this
gonna quickly
Brewmaster
go
Tinker thing.
get something to
It's
eat,
super
I
niche.
think, and take a paracetamol.
I'm always in the favor of, like, you know, these strategies, if they're supposed to work in theory, it's up to you to, you know, execute. And what Shiver's saying is, like, I don't think it's the draft necessarily. I think it's a plaything. If you put together a strategy like this, and you want to pull it off, you need to be on top of things. You need to be on top of, like, what it is that you need. This can't go wrong. This needs to snowball. Maybe the window's very small, but if you're supposed to go through it, and if you're supposed to hit that narrow thing, in theory, well, then it's, you know, there's a game of, like, execution versus idea. And I'm never gonna back down. As in, I love the hipster stuff as long as
We just got to reel it back in a little bit. That's all.
Reel it back in a little
Yeah,
bit.
no, but I'm with you on your point. I think it's very true that there's a more stable and basic way to play. But I think what LGD really need to do now is, like, it's a mental game. It's back against the wall. You're 1 game away from elimination. Are you gonna, you know, get weaker? Are you gonna shy away from your good ideas, or are you gonna man up and, like, just make it work? Because if you can't click your buttons and if you can't execute ideas, you're not gonna go. You're not gonna go to the end. You know, you're only gonna go so far. So I would like to see them man up and not necessarily do the same, but do what it is that you want to do.
Play better. It sounds so simple. Just play better, a little bit of better draft, better everything. Yeah. We're going to see if they can keep themselves alive in the next game. The draft of game number 2 between Talon and PSG.LGD will be coming at you after this.
Throw your uppercut, try to hit me in the gut, thinking that I won't react. You whisper in my name, thinking I won't be the same. Turn fiction into fact. See what you didn't know, bruises that I'll never show, slipping on your every jab. So tighten up your fist, step into the ring with this. I hope your mama's got your back.
Talon 2-0's LGD. That is gonna throw a fit. It's gonna be hype though. Do I have that one, or do I have the previous generation one? I don't remember if I have the 3900K.
I took a break. You're making a huge mistake, thinking you can take the throne. Look at you trembling.
Oh no, I have that one. The 13900K. Nice. A DHL surprise box. Pog. I wish Monster would sponsor me. I drink way too much fucking Monster. 1 year supply of Monster. 12 cases. Dude, that's... Oh, that's a lot of Monster. They say EG versus Liquid won't be the finals though. Why does that need to be the finals? I mean, actually, I kind of have to quit drinking energy drinks because I weigh 94 kilos and I am way too fucking fat. Like, the heart attacks are what makes the news, but the kidney damage is what'll get most people. Found it out the hard way from my acupuncture. What the fuck kidney damage? Dude, it's just caffeine combined with taurine combined with sugar. You can even go for the non-sugar version. You're acupuncturist? I don't believe in any of the Hooga Booga medicine. Of course, when your acupuncturist tells you you're at a risk of kidney problems, you go to a real doc. Surprisingly, she was right. Yeah, but maybe you did crack cocaine. Or you drank alcohol. By the... Energy drinks and kidney problems. An energy drink occasionally will not harm your kidneys. However, drinking energy drinks on a daily or weekly basis can cause chronic kidney damage and chronic kidney disease due to increased blood pressure. Okay. A 12-week study in rats found that chronic intake of Red Bull may cause a decline in kidney function. A chronic intake of... Bro, I drink energy when I have to cast. Like, that's it. I don't like. I drink it occasionally on my own, but yeah, I was a kind of a 3-bottle-a-day energy drink habit in high school. Kind of caught up with me. Yeah, no, that right there. One max a day. Honestly, if I drink 2 in a day, I already feel like I shake and my body doesn't like it. But that I agree with. Energy drinks are not. I mean, obviously they're not good for you, but if you drink it in moderation, it's okay. But if you drink it like a fucking lunatic, then yes, shit's gonna go wrong.
They chose to be first pick, and therefore Talon chooses Radiant, as most people do nowadays. And here we see the drafting is already going on. I'm joined by Jenkins, PPD, and No Till, and we are already well on the way.
You'll see me drink a lot more water than cola on stream.
Underlord, Peter, that's surely a good one.
But yeah,
Yes, but LGD got
should
the bottle,
reduce the
which
amount
has
of
been everybody's favorite
sodas I drink.
as of late.
We talked about this also backstage. It's like you've seen Talon's previous games, and in 6 out of the 5 games before coming into the series, he was playing Underlord. So it's hard to imagine that LGD doesn't see this coming and doesn't have an answer for it. And I've seen, how Underlord can also be a big burden and suffer if the lane doesn't go his way, or if you get the right counter pick and you make it work. So
How good is Techies?
How good is Techies? I think it's a super good hero.
Can I tell you the stats so far? Talon is actually their most played hero together with Underlord. Underlord, 5 games played, 80% win rate, and Techies, they won 3 times out of 5.
I think the hero adds a lot, especially with an early lead. When you start getting like early remote mines into the suicide ganks, you can get skilled taser and you can be a nuisance. You can go for these runes, get a lot of vision. Is one of the quicker heroes in the game. Yeah, I think it's a super good hero. But what can also happen is if you don't have a good laning phase, like if you don't find a place to get hero kills, stay there, leech XP, and you start falling behind, it does feel very lackluster.
First pick Techies, meme or meta?
And if that damage
No,
isn't enough,
I think
then it
that's
gets
not a
out of you.
meme.
The cooldowns are too
First
long,
phase pick
you
Techies
don't
is
really
actually
have skill
normal
set.
right now. Techies has a stun from it.
very long
His
cooldown.
suicide jump is now a stun instead of a shard.
Oh, I don't like this.
Unexpected.
Yeah, I really don't like this, because now you're going to see what Talon has done every time they pick Underlord. They're going to ban the Slark. Well, LGD banned it for them.
Very kind of them.
So that's actually really,
'cause I think Talon
it's
would've,
a really
gonna
strong
ban
hero.
King.
Like especially in this patch where there is no magic immunity anymore in the game. So if you pop BKB, you still take like 50% magic damage. Techie still does a lot of damage at that point. Plus, the bombs from Techies, the ulti, they have a cooldown reduction, magic damage taken increase. So that still is pretty nasty to deal with in this patch where magic resistance is pretty high on most heroes. And there was something else. Let me think. What was there else in this? Oh yeah, his shard is now his old axe. So his old axe, where he could use his laser on an ally, that's now his shard, which is really insane.
To dodge this as Monkey King player, this is your job. You have to hit
Pugna
it.
ban is interesting. Pugna is really good because Pugna works so well with Storm Spirit.
So what's the
You
fourth
can
best hero
almost
versus Underlord?
instantly give Storm all his mana back in this patch
Slark Mug
with
hero.
Life Drain.
Another melee dominator. That's popular.
And if you pop BKB, Pugna will continue his Life Drain. That's also one very annoying thing to deal with. If a hero buys a BKB, they pop BKB while being life drained, and the life drain continues. So you need to have a hero to stun the Pugna or get out of range, or silence the Pugna.
With the right support,
Which is very hard for some mid laners, for instance, to do with, because he's just going to drain you dry.
You have the mag jugger. It's a cool idea. Also
Jug
versus
CM
techies.
or something?
Yeah. Jug CM.
Mid mag or seal. I would assume it's seal mag, but nothing to say has
I'm
played
actually a
mag
fan.
in the
That was
past.
Good suggestion.
Does that hero fit into the hipster category? Do I have to?
I think so.
I
think it's
a little
pretty
hipster,
hipster right now. Yeah.
Juggernaut, the hipster hero?
Well, it just under.
Juggernaut's shit.
Right? And I think that's kind of
Juggernaut's actually shit. I casted a game with it. I played a game with it in my team. It's really bad right now.
to the top, right?
Just like Lifestealer, not having magic immunity has completely decimated the
Still in
hero.
pool, and I think both teams might look at it.
Do you think this Magnus is more likely a mid laner or an off laner?
It's most like an offlaner, right?
What do you
But I'm
think? Who
sure
wins?
with
I don't know
sort of
yet.
mid
The
hero
draft
picks
is
like
way
Ember
too young. The
Spirit
cores have
or
not been. Well, the
Spirit,
safe lanes
you
have
could
not been
argue
picked yet.
justify putting the mag
Gotta
down,
wait.
find
Trolls.
something else.
Trolls always shit.
potential mid picks because of the flood.
There's never a
It doesn't
fucking
deny
moment
stuff.
where
Ember's
Troll
good
has
versus
not.
Mag,
Been,
and
well,
Ember's
not
completely
never
fine
mind.
running
It's
mid. I
almost
think Ember's
always
gonna
that Troll
enjoy
shit.
Getting a lot of XP and stuff. It's just then you can change your offlane pick more so and
gives you
find
options.
something punishing.
Mags
His
is
ult
more
is
of
slightly
a,
better now that you can
I
use
guess, a
items
carry,
during it,
for
but
lack
it's
of a
still
better
shit.
term, than would be like a Dragon Knight or a Void Spirit, somebody whose main job is just to initiate. Magnus kind of wants to farm up as a mid laner. He wants to farm up a couple items like that Treads, Echo Saber, BKB, and then a Blink, for example.
Yeah. We didn't really mention it, but last game Jabs went for a non-blink Magnus, and I think it was a very good read of the game as well. You don't need to add more of this. You just need to be in there in the fight with your BKB and threaten.
Like
an RP
even
on
if
the
he
right
has
hero.
like
So
what is it,
sometimes the heroes
90%
also
win
work like
rate,
this. It depends on the
you would
rest of your
still
lineup
hate
and depends
picking
on
Troll.
how, I mean, also the enemy lineup and how
Because
fast
his
they go.
ulti kind of is
They got rid
can
of
be a
it,
very big
so
problem.
Not an option for LGD.
No.
Their Storm Spirit is still in though.
Yeah, Storm is in.
Disruptor techies.
Versus
Okay.
Techies, Underlord, and Disruptor. I think these are three pretty good heroes versus Storm.
Yes. But they have Caudle. And
Yes,
it's nothing to say is probably his best hero. And
playable.
They're one game from elimination, so you want to make sure that you're bringing your best stuff to the table.
Yeah, but back to what I said is like, are you going into this with cojones? Are you going into this with confidence? Or are you going into this looking for anything that makes you feel better, feel okay? Because if you're going into this trying to feel okay, I mean, you're gonna feel okay in the first 5 minutes and then you lose and you go home.
Depends on the mental stability of your team, I think.
Yes. Well, I'm always gonna be
Nah, I
in the
don't
boat of,
think
like,
PA.
think clearly.
PA's
be
not looking too
confident,
good
and then
right now.
the
If
rest
you're
will
looking
come,
at safe laners that are still left that are meta picks, Sven is, for instance, one that
Interesting.
has been heavily picked up.
Versus Underlord Techies. I've seen this hero beat Underlord. In the
Against
past as well.
Sven,
Your
what
ulti
would
can
you
cleave through
go?
these
You
Crimsons,
definitely
the
won't
Vanguard
go
builds,
PL
and
or
stuff. So
Naga,
if you're okay, Ogre as well.
especially not in this game.
Versus Underlord Techies.
But this could be what we just mentioned.
23
before. This could be a Mag
Savage.
mid and an Ogre
I mean,
off the side.
normally I'd say go Lifestealer, but Lifestealer sucks.
Okay, yeah, I suppose
So,
that is possible.
Caudle Sven, also pretty solid lane.
Yeah, and Mag also really enjoys it. I don't know what builds people would do on a mid, but back
is
in the
this
day,
seal
when we
offlane
went
Ogre?
for,
Because I've seen an
for
offlane
4
Ogre
each Mag
before in the
that had to
major.
deal some damage. Bloodlust was one of the best abilities for him. Because you didn't really
Or
want
is
to
this
buy,
just
like, big
support
attacks on
5
frames early.
Ogre?
I actually don't like Caudle 5. Said it before up here, but I think you just end up like ruining your carry's lane by like pushing it into the offlaner's tower.
Yeah.
And you also take like half his CS, which carry players will.
I mean, you don't level Illuminate anymore in this patch, so
Ogre could
that
be a really
what he
solid
what
pick.
he's saying makes
I
zero
think that
sense.
offlane could work.
I guess Ogre.
Because
I-
you
this is
level
the
up
first time we've seen
Blinding
Ogre
Light
support
level 1, then
this
level
tournament.
2 you go for mana regain, level
yeah,
3
yeah,
you
I
go
think
for
that
level
was
2
just
mana,
Ogre,
level
like,
4
all
you go
3
for
times
Illuminate.
offlane,
So
once in
most
a
of the
while.
time laning stage is
collapse
pretty
phase
much
is not
already
related
over
to, I
before you
wanna
get
say.
Illuminate
Yeah, I believe so.
on Coddles.
Anyways, if it is a
I mean, you
Ogre
could
5
go
versus
level
Sven,
3 Illuminate,
it
but
can be quite
even
okay
then,
versus
it's
Underlord Techies.
you
I
can
think
use
can find your
Illuminate
way.
to just stack the camp so Sven can farm
He's a
behind
new
his
Ogre,
tower.
it's a new day, so
Especially
I'm not gonna
considering
try
they're
to
dire, those
be
two
smart on
camps at
this.
the top, you can stack them both at the same time,
I would like to see a new.
which is pretty nice. Yoink.
What you want? Do you put the Magnus?
I don't really like the Naga pick here. It's really good with the rest of their team, but Sven
Yeah, you
and
get
Magnus
Vanguard,
on the other
the
side,
Coddle spells
eh.
versus Disruptor Naga. I think you'll be able to shove him out and start applying pressure. But Naga versus Sven it can be very good for Naga. It depends a lot on how Sven gets to hit, if he gets on the right target, if you have sleep ready when you sleep and so on. But in general, Naga can be quite good versus Sven, I would say. It's a better core matchup.
Talon's got a pretty good lineup.
I mean, it does work because you can solve the sign into static storm kinetic field into the fucking catch from Underlord with his waveform, his shit above, and you drop 3 techies mines around it. They have enough damage to fucking wipe the living shit out of LGD if they pop up the combo. But 9 out of 10 times teams fuck up the combo.
Unkillable, I think LGD starts running into big issues because the long team fights are not going to favor them.
I feel like they need more damage. They're sort of completely relying on Sven.
Yeah, and are you picking a position 5 and doing what we talked about with the Mag and the Ogre? Are you picking a +5 to bring this damage, or are you picking a mid laner?
There you go. I love this pick. They needed something.
Yeah, I really digging LGD's
Follow up on
picks
all the
here.
stuns that they already have.
Timbersaw is unkillable
and
for
don't deal
Naga.
with Naga throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
Damage for Underlord. Haven't seen a lot of Timbersaw, but I think this hero can be good.
And the usual counters are like Batrider, Leshrac. Those are what you would pick to deal with the Timber in the game. What else?
Yeah, what else is in this pool versus Timber? You mentioned Bloodseeker before. I don't know if it's worth anything. It's just a rupture.
I think they're just getting a mid for.
Yeah. I'm thinking out of the box, like even. But there's Ember still. Okay.
Underlord mid potentially. Veno offlane.
I think so. I think they're doing the Veno to punish the Sven, and they're just gonna put the.
I'd say LGD takes game 2.
Because you outlasted him, right?
Timber saw his mid actually.
Yeah, it should be Timber mid.
Offlane mag.
I mean, I don't know how it goes between the Whirling Death and the Atrophy. Like, if Underlord can actually, get the first waves versus the Timber with more right-click damage, or if you
LGD to take game 2 against Talon.
All right, let's go. Bold predictions panel. We can't be wrong twice, right?
Surely.
Twice, surely.
I
want to give it to Talon.
I like the Veno as well, but
I'm following No Tail Jenkins. To be a contrarian.
I like LGD's draft here.
I'll go LGD here.
Timbersaw doesn't die at all.
I've been on the other end of that one. I think this could be a snowballing Timber game that we have in front of us.
I think there's a lot of magic damage for the Timber still. I think it's not a free game. But if anyone's gonna do it, I think it's up to the Sven and the Timber to put in the work.
Well, we got more disables this time on the side of PSG.LGD. Stuns are good, so they got that sorted. We do have the Sven Ogre lane, and you all were not very happy about that.
Double melee. That's always
I'm
fun.
not enjoying this lane.
Against Veno. Against Veno.
Well, that feels very painful, actually.
Yeah.
And I feel that.
Yeah.
So for Talon, Mikoto's going to get out of control? Or Jabs?
Jabs is going to get out of control.
Jabs going to get out of control.
I
He
think
has
Jabs.
good 2 side lane matchups. If he's against the Mag or if he's against the Sven, both are going to be amazing for him. Should be.
But we don't have the initiator from the mid lane, which, Peter, you always...
Either side really does, and that's where I think Disruptor can be very impactful for Talon.
All right, Talon seems to be the favorite of my panel, Jenkins. You're in the minority here.
I'm just trying to be devil's advocate. I'll go LGD. I don't want to curse anyone. I'm just
The
going to
thing
go
is,
LGD.
if you all go for Talon, then you all unanimously curse Talon.
Okay, I'll go
Therefore,
Talon.
we
I'll go Talon.
to
I do think like Veno should have this should be a free Veno game. He's against 3 melee cores and a melee support in lane too.
Didn't was it CRM the other day who cursed LGD? Do you remember that?
What? How did he
Slacks
curse
was asking like who he wanted to curse or whatever.
That's true.
He did curse. It was LGD.
It was LGD.
It was LGD.
Ooh,
Oh,
well,
no.
does the curse live on here in this series? They're going to find out. Game 2 and potentially for PSG.LGD, if they can't pull it off, this might be their final showing here at the Berlin Major. Let's see how it goes together with OD Pixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, game 2 here, ladies and gentlemen, of Talon versus PSG.LGD. And Fog, what do you make of this? You know, coming into this one with the drafts this time round, we did it, the panel, they seem to just straight up like what Talon got in terms of hero picks here in this game too. Would you agree?
There is a lot of melee heroes on the side of LGD versus an Underlord and a Venomancer. These two heroes, honestly, they thrive versus strength.
Michelle and JJ are the observers.
These melees, I could see
JJ
Jabs
lie
getting out of
big.
control. For LGD, I think it's all going to be up to nothing to say. I think he is enabled in this game with the Coddle to be able to kind of blast and pop off. If he's able to get ahead and crush this Underlord once he hits 6, perhaps he could take over the map, but let's see if that's going to happen. And let's see if the level 1 thing doesn't happen this time also, because I think that really hurt LGD, the start of their game, having to go to their lanes versus, like, both side lanes had, like, 7 stick charges on the side of Talon, so they couldn't actually pressure the lanes, and they lost all 3 lanes pretty handedly. So let's see what we get going down. I'm just excited to watch some of these heroes, because it is very comfort heroes coming out for pretty much both sides. The Jabs Veno, something a classic that I think people always talk about. Zeo playing a master tier, nothing to say. We saw him play this quite a bit, even in the DPC, and he went just like the full nuke build on the Timbersaw. What we get.
I do enjoy sort of how kind of disgusting some of Talon's heroes are,
They're
right?
pretty gross.
A Naga, a Techies, and a Veno. Ain't nobody want to be playing against these heroes. But unfortunately for PSG.LGD, that's what they're going to be up against in this game. They've got to win, otherwise they're going home.
This definitely does look like a melee nightmare. If the Timbersaw isn't able to just go crazy, they get pipes and stuff like that, and able to withstand versus all of this. Because yeah, honestly, it's not even just Veno and Underlord, right? It's Disruptor and Techies too. Like these heroes are absurd versus all these melees, and they're starting off as a kind of a tri-lane up here.
Okay.
Right off the bat, it is spotted. Ollie, he'll be seen.
Sure. Playing it careful. It does not want to get caught out by some sort of first blood attempt by Talon.
It's a lot of magic damage though from Talon this game.
Played it all here at this tournament, so I'm looking forward to see what YU Smile is going to be able to do to try to withstand and protect the lane for Shiro.
run down jabs a little bit. Yeah, we'll see how well sort of he's able to trade against these two.
I think the lanes across the board, though, all things considered, like besides just looking at matchups once we get into the mid game and stuff like that, I feel like LGD this time put themselves in a much better laning position. I feel like last game they did have, you know, they had like 2 very weak lanes in particular, where the Tinker versus the DK, and then they had this Brewmaster starting off low versus a very strong lane that Talon had set up.
Oh, why Smile's dead.
Why?
Oh.
Trouble.
Yeah, they can keep chasing.
Blood grenade and a sticky grenade.
It's going down. They could look for the deny.
Yep.
They won't be able to find it. As first
I don't really know
and a solid game
what the Ogre's supposed to do in a fucking Veno plus techies. Like, it's 2 range versus 2 melee, and it's 2 slow melee against heavy slows range.
Oh, he's actually going in. Okay.
It's a rough one to lane into.
Oh, absolutely.
It really is.
Especially double melee.
Yep.
And overall, so looking at the other lane that we didn't talk about, because bottom and top, I mean, they should be able to pressure pretty hard. I think either way, LGD, they do have setup for good lanes, but Mikoto also, early levels for the Underlord, he does well versus the Timber.
Oh, for sure.
It's once the 6 comes out, that's when you just get completely bullied.
Because you're CSing good, you should get a chance to get some good denies in right. You hit hard.
You just have much higher base damage in particular. You see already, he's at 83, nothing to say is at 62.
I do also like Veno. Veno is a pretty solid hero.
But, I mean, only just. I mean, he's 9 CS anyway, so it's still pretty decent.
Sure. It has to be careful, just because the kill potential is so high.
Yep. The blood grenade.
I don't know if it's going to be able to like carry on and stay strong, but
HP every time, and it's very easy for Talon to connect with these skills.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for Innocence, for Y, he just has to tank the spells. Like, his job is actually kind of to die in this lane as an Ogre, just to make sure that Shiro doesn't get spammed. And the levels, as it comes out, this lane becomes miserable for a Sven. More and more levels on the Veno, more and more levels on the Techies. The nuke damage is unbelievable, especially versus double melee. But yeah, bottom, Zeal should free farm. And mid also, even though the Underlord can get a bit more of advantage with like these denies and stuff like that, I think NTS should be able to have this good time anyway. And at 6, yeah, he's going to be able to push the Underlord likely out of the lane.
Yeah, we'll see what sort of Mikoto does.
curious if Makoto's gonna go aura build or what the plan is. Because that's the one thing I fear, the reason why I like LGD's draft. I think Talon might just have no damage. Techies does bring a lot of damage though.
Also to see what like an Underlord mid is going to be able to do as well. Sure. With the early Athene's game.
It's nice, you can get those quick ganks going. Or bring in a +1 for a gank on mid.
Absolutely.
Many plays to be made. Definitely
I mean,
yeah, a lot of strength
level
to
3.
Getting the quick 6.
The Suicide's going to come in. He's going down.
He's absolutely gone. They might have to look for the deny. See if Why You Smile can find the deny. So he's going to try and stay alive. Here's Shiro. Another bomb's going to get thrown out. Shiro, he wants to find the kill. He's not going to get it. Nope. Q's going to live. I mean,
And Why You Smile's now most likely dead as well.
Lane to play into.
I feel like between Veno and Underlord, the damage kind of slow. So if you go for the greedier kill.
Sven and Ogre, they're having to lane into this Veno techies and a Veno techies.
And Naga doesn't fight anytime soon, but Talon is winning lanes, and then it doesn't matter too much.
No, it doesn't. I think you've soon got to sort of consider just going somewhere else other than this lane.
I think you.
What do you do?
I mean, they do have defensive auras most likely on the side of Talon to deal with.
As soon as he gets Vanguard, you leave this Magnus on his own.
To deal with Techies and Disruptor not getting caught out.
By any means.
But a lot of this game is going to ride on Timbersaw. Oh, and Magnus, to be fair. Off-lane Zeal Mag.
Somebody's going to have to rectify sort of this slow start for Shiro, or at least have enough of a presence on the map that Shiro's going to be able to find the opportunity to catch up and farm, get to those safe spots without any chance of Talon reaching him.
The thing is that level 6 is about
Veno also has the burn now.
Sticky bomb, and then a Fiend's Gate appears on top of Shiro as well too, to go for the plays.
Timber build these days anyway. New Scepter kind of feels like a bait.
Just not going to be able to react quick enough.
And it's only actually making the first move.
Shiro's in trouble.
What's it called?
Very dead here.
The not Crimson Guard. Eternal Shroud.
They're going to lose more in PSG.LGD. Why You Smile's going to get taken out. The bomb thrown the way.
Eternal Shroud's what they build.
You do not want to come
and Ags afterwards. Well, later. Bunch later. But it's definitely Eternal Shroud into Kai Assange most of the time.
But Owen, where's this Sven supposed to go? He's level 3.
And possibly
We're
Ags.
level 5 on the Venomancer already.
Because I think Ags is actually
It's
stupidly
rough
good.
for Shiro.
I mean, if LGD recover from this sort of start in their safe lane, it is going to be pretty miraculous.
I mean, so much of this game is now going to be up to the mid and the off lane, mostly onto NTS, honestly. And he's playing versus a ton of magic damage as well.
And he'll get Ollie.
Okay.
So going to be run out of the lane a bit here by Q.
Q is really bringing it to him.
And Jabs is here as well.
Jabs. I mean, he gets the connection.
Well, Planet's no fuck.
Is very, very
Nothing to
dead.
say he doesn't
Just
want to go
another
in.
one here.
The go to joins
He's
the
going
fun.
to go absolutely bonkers this game.
He's on fire today.
He's going to have Vestal pretty soon.
That was 3-0-4.
And Owen, he's playing versus the quad melee, like the panel talked about too.
It's the Venomancer dream.
Yeah, I cannot actually wait to see the Noxious Plague just bouncing between these heroes when the fight kicks off too.
And just I will see if it sort of gets like there, but the Ags and the Shard down the line.
Oh my god, it's
so many
disgusting.
ways to punish this lineup of PSG.LGD, and maybe that you wouldn't have to be scared of the Venom for PSG.LGD if he didn't have a great start. But he had a great start.
He had an amazing start.
He was involved in all 7 kills so far. Jabs.
And Mikoto,
Confidence in
he's
that
up
play
7.
was
He
pretty
opts to
clean.
not
He
get
threw the
featured just yet,
second
but now he has
sticky
pick
onto
with
the
the
higher
Firestone so they can
HP
play
target.
super aggressive. This is just
Because he
another
knew
kill.
that his
Anytime
ally
anybody they
cleaned
find
up the
is
guaranteed
gonna
sticky kill.
He's got to get out of it. He's still level 4.
The next level play. Currently, how is... I mean, I personally I really like Talon as a team because Jabs has always been amazing.
On the plus side,
But didn't expect them to do this well.
So the level 1 cleave is now what, the 40% instead of what used to be like the 20% or something.
Yep.
So at least your jungling at level 4 is better than jungling at level 4 in the last patch.
Hell.
23.
So yep. They may have more stuns this time around with their draft, but not in that situation. PSG.LGD, no way to stop him from getting out. 23's fine.
I mean, yeah, this is insane timings. Jabs, I mean, yeah, Vessel, it's about to be done. So versus these tanky strength cores, again, even more so.
I can kill anyone.
It's so beneficial to have this, yeah.
You got to be ready with your TPs.
Oh, yeah.
If you're PSG.LGD.
But Q and him are always paired up. That's the one thing, is this techies now at this point, this hero has a built-in stun. You don't have to wait for Shard.
Yeah, when it's the duo of them, you're
dead.
There's no answer. You're absolutely dead. And one thing that they don't have this game, which they did have last game, right? They don't have any sort of save. You know, last time they had the Abaddon, which was able to bail them out of some situations. Not many, of course. They still lost the game. They don't have any sort of dispel like that this time around.
I think so much of this game is really going to just come up to just nothing to say. So I think for Planet, you may just look to play around this Timbersaw and just buff him up with chakras constantly so that he can just try to snowball with some kills. Because he just needs as many as possible now to try to make space for poor Shiro, who has literally no game.
I mean, it's just the thing for him.
Shiro, like the thing is with Sven, if you make some stacks in the triangle or some shit, he'll catch up pretty quickly.
Nothing to say. He can't just charge into the fights.
It's the Vessel, but it's also just everything else, all the magic damage. Techies is 6, so it's magic amplification, the magic resistance reduction from the stacking mines. There's Firestorm. There's all this percent damage. Honestly, Owen, this is going to be a hell of a game if LGD is able to recover it, because right now it's looking pretty sad.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think they're selling this lane duo perfectly. You know, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go into a pub and make someone feel miserable as hell, just pick Venotechi's lane.
You can actually just ruin these games completely. Like imagine playing a melee carry versus this in any situation.
Yeah,
they're just gonna flame their 5 and they're probably gonna leave.
It's so frustrating for the carry. Absolutely. It really will be quite something if they can recover from this sort of start.
Yeah, Mikoto. I like the build that he's got queued up at the moment, going for Atos, more control. Can they punish him?
Don't drop the RP. I mean, they don't want to be messing around.
A good kill.
Drop the spells, get the kills. Meanwhile, Jabs picks up another. He's able to kill off while you smile.
Of course.
Nothing to say, still does do a lot of damage.
Access points into that top jungle where Shiro needs to recover. How does stacks looking at the least? So that is the one thing Shiro does have. He has tremendous stacks. So there will be some recovery outlets, at least for him here with this.
But I guess the thing is for this Sven, in this sort of game, when does it ever feel good to turn up and fight the enemy hero?
That is going to be the question, Owen.
There's a lot of kite, right? A lot of control. Feels like you're not really going to find opportunities to fight before you have BKB.
Like BKB blink.
Look how fast Shiro catches up with these stacks.
We'll see. Oh. Uh-oh. Whoop.
Oh.
It's all of us.
Oh, it is.
Whoop. Pause. Unpause. Pause.
What's
unpause.
going on here? Slacks.
Pause.
Over the cable.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
23 leaves. Even though everyone lags, he's like, whoa. Okay, everybody's just going to reset it.
Just a reset here.
And looking at the build, too, I actually really like this from Q. He's got a Veil.
I mean,
it's all the magic damage. Amp it up a little bit versus these tankier heroes, and
you just got to avoid these fights, right, if you're PSG.LGD, unless you're kind of making moves around nothing to say, and you know that Talon split up, which of course is not easy to find because they have this mid Fiend's Gate from Underlord.
Yeah.
You know, Mikoto will be ready to bring up in the backup and kind of bring the team together if PSG.LGD do start looking to fight Talon head on.
Yeah, you have to avoid. You have to avoid the Techies and Veno in particular. But it's not easy when you're playing also versus Disruptor. Ali, he's level 6, so they have that extra catch.
Yeah.
Didn't actually see who got the Wisdom runes. Did you?
Oh.
It was... Okay, it was Planet and it was Q. So it was an equivalent exchange. But 23, I mean, he has the recipe for success for this Naga Siren, right? Even though he is versus a Cleave, versus the Timber Chakram and stuff like that, the space that's now at this point going to be made for him, it's tremendous. Yeah, and Mikoto, you know, I was pointing out the 8-Toast build. I guess, like, for this catch, because they are maybe a little bit lacking versus this Timber, I'm wondering if maybe he wants to eventually go down some Aura route or some type of extra protection for himself. We'll see.
He's going to have the Halberd next.
Okay.
So, wants to make sure that Sven's life is even more miserable in these team fights.
Shiro does get that recovery, though. Stacks are completely clear.
Oh, is that Andrew Tate from AliExpress? Nah, bro. I'm Andrew Tate from Ohio.
Deal. We'll be able to bail out last second. Are they going to chase him through the portal? I think they are. Yeah, they're going through.
See if they can find him. They could sweep this top area of the map. They know it's likely that one member of PSG.LGD will be farming these.
Actually, pretty close to net worth. Look at the net worth that just Shiro got back from taking those stacks. This is why you stack for your safe laners, people.
Fiend's Gate is coming in as well. They'll drop the static storm. Goodbye, Zeal.
Always just stack for your safe laners.
This is going to be a lot of magic damage. And he'll take the port back to mid lane.
Any promos going on?
Ooh, they're actually gonna
Don't have any betting website promos.
Ooh, not quite.
Not quite. Still
unfortunately.
That was almost quick. Nothing to say. Getting just quite away.
And you like this as well from Ollie, just the brown boot zags this game.
You know how people thought the AliExpress guy got assassinated? Turns out he's alive.
Yeah, they've got the song.
Oh.
Yep.
So
okay.
Definitely makes sense.
You know, you can
What happened
pretty
to him
much
then?
guarantee that static storm setup.
Honestly, I'm pretty with the way that the positioning of everything else is. I'm pretty okay with it. But yeah, Shiro, he's getting time to recover, which is absolutely crucial for him. They've done a good job of avoiding the fights the last like 3-4 minutes.
He's catching back up. It's very important for PSG.LGD. They slowed down Talon and sure they lose Zeal to that play up top, but other than that, the kills that were just.
Yeah, LGD can win this series. They're in a very good spot right now in this game.
Someone's gonna have to sacrifice a little bit. And yeah, Planet.
You got
I mean, now at
teaching
this
job
point,
at
level
Tokyo
3
College.
eliminate
The fuck?
The push
That's
on the
weird.
side of Talon.
But yeah, I think they're in a like the laning stage was really bad, but Shiro, because he's a fucking Sven and his teammates have constantly been stacking camps for him, the Sven is caught up quickly and they have really good late game.
So further setup here for Talon to start the action themselves. PSG.LGD.
There's a school shooting in Serbia. Serbia is USA.
He's thinking about going up into the high ground.
Okay.
We'll lay down the Thunderstrike and the Firestorm.
I mean, there's always a school shooting in the US.
The rest of PSG.LGD poking from the side. He's trying to jump in to finish the kill off it. If he can get it. A couple of mines set down and he'll find it. Q able to jump up, still takes down while you smile.
Thanks for the optimism always.
Heroes for a reason. Super confident on it. 406. Love how aggressive he's playing.
Go for more beyond the tower hit. The setup's there into the gale. It's going to be another
Rip
big up for
Cotelu.
Talon that could set up. Allow them to push this tier 1 tower down.
Yeah, good invasive play. They were patient with the way they just fully ran up the high ground, but then the jump forward, they get the kill and enables them to now set up for tower here. Great moves. Talon, very similar to last game.
What
playing
items does Shiro actually have? It's getting close to the Echo. After Echo, it's BKB. After BKB, it's Blink. Maybe Blink then BKB. Probably BKB then Blink.
Constantly be worried about the hunt.
But they're getting stomped. They're only 3k behind. It's not that bad, actually. Song with Minefield.
Shiro gets found from these heroes.
I don't know what the interaction is on that one.
Yeah, some good movements around the map, though, by Shiro. Finding these safe spots. You know, gets a couple of ways pushed out bottom, then immediately back up to this top area.
And he's got them power, too, so he'll be able to get that big cleave. He clears through these camps in like 3 hits.
Echo's done, so they should be able to speed up getting towards that Next time.
I mean, Song into triple proximity mines. That one is pretty nasty though, because proximity mines don't pop while Song is going on, if I'm not mistaken. So you can like place them all three around the enemies. Then they'll go triple kablooey.
Versus these pesky wards. Mid.
Trying again for the setup, but they won't get it immediately. They can go for the glimpse back. And into the static storm.
Big damage.
It is a lot of damage. And far too much.
Another one.
Timbers has survived through. They'll turn over to YU Smile. They should be able to get both of them here.
Absolutely.
I mean, it really is.
I'm actually, you can dodge it. I think you can dodge a glimpse if you timber chain at the right time.
I mean, it's so much magic damage because of the amp from the Veil. 18% increased, and then 3 mines to reduce the magic resistance by 45% as well, too. Or, you know, the stacking mine to image. It's absurd how much they really do have.
Yeah, nobody's living through that. And that's the thing as well that makes it kind of so guaranteed when they go for these kills. They've just got excellent setup, right? Between the Rod of Atos and the Pit from Mikoto, you ain't running away.
And the catch again, Zeal. Can't blink out of this one.
And gee, there's the setup. They'll pop the RP.
What?
No damage. Oh my.
Maybe an RP out of frustration there.
Definitely.
They're doing weird shit right now on LCD.
So we said
maybe I don't know.
Pretty irrecoverable.
If I remember correctly, minefield works based on enemies' movement, so being strong just wastes duration. Oh. Yeah, I can't remember. Wait, we can read that.
If there's a chance if they make mistakes that you can kind of come back. This one, I think even if Talon makes a bunch of mistakes, this Sven has pretty horrendous matchups as we've seen multiple
Plus
times.
500 units area around the sign will become minefields for 10 seconds, dealing damage to enemy anytime they move within its area. Okay.
They have, he's 3 components toward Aghanims already on Disruptor.
I mean, it's going to be one of the fastest times we've seen.
Probably one of the fastest if he keeps up at this rate. Why? He might just...
Well, there's no RP, so there's a lot less to fear.
This is brutal.
This is crazy. Yeah, Talon today. My goodness. I don't think anyone would want to run into Talon in this lower bracket if this first series is going to be anything.
I don't know why Lamau. Wait, maybe that one is from. I think that one's probably from Nightbot.
Potential kills because they have the Fiend's Gate ready.
They do have the Fiend's Gate, right? Yeah.
If he finds him, they just come in.
Does force movement still count? I would assume so.
Careful until BKBs come out.
Anybody can die.
Yep.
And Mikoto, he's just going to start walking in. Shiro.
Oh
my goodness. Doesn't see him. Well, that was rather close.
It's so scary how they can hunt with this lineup. Anybody gets found, 3 heroes will just appear on top of you and delete you until the BKBs come out. Once BKBs come out, perhaps they'll have some type of answer versus, but yeah, at this rate.
There you go.
Too much space being made for this Naga who is owning the map. Cutting creep waves, pushing in 2 lanes at the same time constantly. And yeah, they're on the prowl. Smoke. Nothing to say, shows himself for a second. He has no BKB. Very vulnerable. Where's he gonna go? He's hiding. He's gonna try to claim a wisdom, but they're all on top of him.
If you sees him,
he's in trouble. He's looking pretty dead.
And he's sort of catch, and it's gonna do it every time. It's just so much damage, you can't live through it. Even if you're a Timber.
This techies. Wait, can we see? I saw the damage before. Can we keep just bringing it up so we can just keep showing off for little cute techies over here? I mean, he is literally deleting everybody. Look at this. Look at this Fen damage. I don't think it's going to get much better than that. This is crazy.
I mean, the big test will be the BKB.
It will be. It's all about triple BKB.
If Shiro can turn up with the BKB, get in with the God Strength, we'll see if he can kind of delete some of these heroes. But
then there's a Naga, too, who can just reset the fight potentially or focus fire you.
That's true. They can disengage pretty easily.
22-3.
Talon came to play today. And also,
reverse 3-2-2.
Right. It's for LGD timing will be potential timing will be BKB, but then there's going to be the potential also of a Song into an Ag Static Storm very early on in the game with the way Ollie's building. Okay, LGD, they're bringing the numbers.
They're setting up for a fight.
See who they can find. Playing around Vision.
This is pre-BKB though, I'm sure.
It is. Can be risky.
What the fuck is Coddle doing there?
Without planet. Now indeed, they get the kill on jabs. See if they can try and push for more. They'll turn with the shockwave onto Ollie, but backup's coming in for Talon. PSG.LGD, they're going to keep going forward. Nothing to say. It's in with the timber chain. Chakra connection onto Ollie. And Makoto, Q, and 23, they are around. They'll hold him down.
My lord.
Bring him down so low, so
What's his item build?
There's nothing to say. He's got to
Why does he have Kaya Sanj?
They get the glimpse back, nothing to say.
Dude is the biggest moron the world has ever seen. He's got Kaya Sanj instead of fucking.
That'll be his time. He's continued to fly, and he's got his heart picked up.
He feels amazing. He's like, team, thank you so much. You guys are just killing everybody around the map. I'm playing just
Instead of
showing up,
the.
getting a cleanup killer too. It really this damage.
Fuck, what's the item called?
With all this amp up.
Can I check shop? No.
Shiro, BKB is done.
I don't like the Kaya Sanj first item.
Where's the damage for the Naga Siren at this point gonna be?
Yeah, I mean Zeal's trying to get this pipe online, but it's still a fair bit away.
It is. I mean, they need a pipe versus all this magic, and it can't really be nothing to say to build it.
Oh, they're gonna try and steal the.
Even the pipe on Zeal, it's like it feels like he does need BKB completely this game too.
And time to steal some tormentors.
Ollie, careful.
Ollie. Watch out the supports. They're going to try and get in and take this fight around this. And they might be forced to. They get the skewer back on Makoto. Makoto pretty deep here. They've got him.
Shiro
23
BKB.
tries to save him with the song, but the BKB was already there from Shiro, so Shiro could continue to kill off Makoto. The rest of them will get out, Talon. A PSG.LGD successful in pushing them back, getting a kill on Makoto, and we'll make sure that the Tormentor falls into
Akaru gets the shard.
That was bold from Talon. They almost look how low it got, but like it gets them very, very low themselves and just sets up for initiation. Yeah. And honestly, that was very close for 23. Look, if you look at Shiro, the stun was, look, watch his swing right here. It like just came up right at the end there, the stun. He had like 0.1 second of animation coming out. A good comeback, a good couple kills there for LGD.
I mean, Talon, they want to go straight back in for the fight.
Sure do, they know BKB's on cooldown. Shiro's a free kill if they find him.
He didn't use his God Strength though, so God Strength would still be there. But indeed, the lack of BKB could be the...
He got 420. Hey!
He'll just die.
420! Rip Shiro! Rip Y!
As Talon, as soon as they lose that earlier fight top, they're just straight back in. Q picks up another double.
7, 0, and 13. He's 20 of the 22 kills on this techies, and he's about to hit, he's now literally about to hit 12. They're actually going to kick up pace. They're going to go for Roche. Definitely hard for LGD to contest in that area, especially because everybody's just going to be full HP. Yeah, this they love their
23 is pretty decently farmed.
Brilliant techies game.
Brilliant techies game, brilliant techies player. We do see this sometimes from Talon where the supports just go absolutely crazy. This is one of those games.
How's Ollie doing on the Axe? $500 for this Roche. He's going to be so close. So likely to be there for the next fight. Obviously PSG.LGD will have seen him, building up this whole game. So likely that they will be prepared for it. But the question is sort of how prepared can you be for sort of a song into Static Storm if you haven't preemptively BKB'd. It's not easy to play against.
Quietly in the meantime though, Planet has been farming quite a lot on this Coddle. So little things to obviously look at. He has Solar Crest finished up already, and I believe he did buy the Shard relatively early, so he can pull heroes around, try to either match the Fiend's Gate or just avoid the fights to be able to set up Shiro for some chance of being able to catch up still. That's actually pretty important. He is very farmed on this Coddle.
And Kuna the Wind Waker next.
Okay.
Midas.
Midas.
They're ready for the recovery.
They're ready for the recovery.
They've just got to hold it out this game. PSG.LGD.
I mean, that's definitely what they're telling themselves. They're like, all right, high ground defense, take it to the super late game. That's where Sven is going to be able to delete some heroes, and BKBs are very strong this game.
Because they've got that wombo late game. Nice RP into a follow.
Yeah, I got my dividend paid out today.
Especially with high ground defense, that's where things can start getting messed up.
From AT&T.
They're feeling like they got a timing here, too. BKB's finished on Timber.
Oh yeah, I'll remove the free stuff.
See if they can get the
Channel on
initiation.
Discord.
Can they get on this back line?
It's risky to look for this fight, especially into the ages of 23, but
and there's
very
mines.
much feeling pressured that they have to do this.
The mines
There
scout
is
the
deleted.
rotation. They know exactly where they are.
It's going to be tough for PSG.LGD to find something of this. If they do, it's going to be pretty wild.
They can get the back line. It's all important.
No free stuff for you, bitch.
Jabs.
He's preparing.
Sees him. Glimmers.
Nothing to say. He's trying to lead in on this. Shiro watching from the side.
What does he actually have on the Timber Saw now? Okay, he's got BKB.
See them holding back for now. He's got to have the backup coming in to help him out. Put the BKB. He's still trying to commit in onto Makoto. Bring Makoto down low.
Jabs.
See if we can finish him off. Another Chakram's there, but the song, it's out. Nothing to say. Was able to finish off the kill.
They're dipping.
They'll back off. They've lost their Underlord. They don't want to take this fight. Talon, they're able to get everybody else out.
That was very nicely done from Nothing to Say. The haste rune and the BKB, he just charges in and just, yeah, he gets rid of the Underlord before anything. LGD starting to find avenues back. The greed.
Yeah, I guess at this stage you need Ags. Naga's not going to Fusil Blade anyway, so...
23 closing in on his next item. Butterfly.
It's not great he doesn't have any magic armor, though.
They have completely closed the gap on the gold, though. That is
I saw some hate on Redfall, like a lot of hate on
Especially with the way
Redfall
that this
as
meta
well.
works right now, where kills are worth so much. But BKB on cooldown for Nothing to Say has to be careful where he shows himself on the map.
That is pretty wild how close it is. You know, considering the kills are 22 to 5. Even some sort of the state of like the levels of the supports, it's very close.
They've avoided
pretty much on a similar level state, even though the supports at Talon, they got so much.
Oh, is the quality of the game just the game just runs like trash? Oh, okay.
9,000 net worth on a Coddle. He's ahead of Techies, who's been able to just literally find every single kill on the map. Pretty impressive. And yeah, Bloodlust plus
The stream
power,
review is shit too.
start to
Oh.
kick in onto Shiro.
I don't know what the game even is about. I just saw that everyone hates the game.
Behind on the gold.
I had fun playing Sons of the Forest with Blast.
90 seconds left on Aegis.
My god, that game spooked me a couple of times.
BKB back on for Nothing to Say. The 23 forcing issue here with his Butterfly.
I had a lot of screams there. I probably should record, like, keep some of those screams somewhere. Because there were some fun moments during the game.
For the later stage.
Just avoiding the fight, hitting the creeps. So far, financially, it's definitely paying off.
Absolutely.
Link Echo.
And they,
Going
I mean, they have
Ags.
how many Philosopher's Stones do they actually have? They did get 3 of them.
Oh, they went for 3?
They went for 3. I mean, that's definitely...
And a Midas Ogre now as well. Multicast!
See if they can afford to lose another tier 2 here in the mid now. Trying to dissuade 23 a little bit. On the Aegis. Maybe an opportunity for PSG.LGD to get out and look for another fight.
So definitely tense moments here. Double blinks at the right. I mean, Shiro, he has the blink done also with Zeals from earlier. So they have access to be able to get into the back lines. And Mikoto, he's trying desperately to finish his BKB so he doesn't just get evaporated from the Timbersaw like happened last fight. Yeah, Midas and Philly Stones absolutely starting to kick in.
Just have 4090 and stop
Yeah,
playing
Jabs
on
is literally
Steam.
getting no farm. It's actually been about 7 minutes.
Isn't the
where I feel he's
4090 like
9,000
fucking 2K
10,500 net
or some
worth.
shit? How much is the
They're getting
4090?
stuck in a position where they are
I'm not
running
gonna buy
around
it.
as a
I'm
unit.
just curious.
And LGD is just splitting up. I think a full crit. All right, a small crit now coming out for Shiro too. His damage is starting to kick in. Still gonna have an issue versus the Butterfly, but if he's able
Dude,
to
that's
jump
an
backwards
entire,
and delete the supports,
very decent PC. For 2K, you can buy a pretty decent PC.
Has to make sure that he makes it count on the first few BKB usages, because obviously
Or
once it
build
gets
one
down to
at
that 6
least.
seconds,
I don't know if you can
it
fully
gets
buy.
kind of
Well,
that risky
probably.
point where if you don't kill them quick enough, BKB wears off, Song's going to come in, and suddenly the fight's getting turned around onto you. It has to make these sort of longer durations really count when PSG.LGD
Coddle's also going for
go
Ags.
out and get hunting for that fight.
LGD is just getting very good neutral items. I'm still clicking around on these heroes. Titan Sliver now for the Sven. I believe the Ogre Seal Totem for the Magnus
Did
to
not
be able to
expect
reset
Arcane
and jump
Studio
inside of
to
these
churn
fights.
out this shit.
Why you smile
What's
gets a
Arcane
headband on top
Studio?
of his Philly, and he's
What
getting
have they
these kills
made?
on Hex, so the recover outlet is definitely starting to kick in. This is very impressive. Talon, they're constantly sticking together. Trying to find some type of window here to blow open another kill. Why?
The TP's coming in. The glimpse back. They will commit to take him down, and of course with the farm, the 23, as they do it very quickly, they've got the song set up. See if Foley wants to follow up with the Static Storm on this one. It's an axe. So there'll be no chance for any items to come out here.
Shiro's here,
Nothing
though.
to say,
Oh.
Shiro's in from the side. Nothing to say goes down. Shiro turns towards 23. Immediate buyback here for nothing to say.
23's in trouble.
They're in with the stun, the evasion.
Chiro.
He's giving him some survivability to 23. He pops the illusions. He's trying to duke it out.
How is he out?
He's getting
The
away.
glimmer save.
Got vision upon him again. He's still escaping though. The kinetic field holds him back. The great escape in for 23. He's out of there. How? Between the illusions. What was the glimmer? Was it glimmer coming in? Who was that? It was Jabs.
I think it was Jabs.
Jabs with the glimmer. Bails him out.
What?
And 23 gets away.
But we're seeing the power. LGD's kicking in. It does force a buyback from nothing to say, but how the hell does he get out? Zeal, he misses the RP.
I mean, that RP must have been so close.
He held on to it a couple times. I think he felt like they didn't need it, and then ends up missing it at the end. The great escape. Oh my goodness. Talon looking to strike back here. BKB still on cooldown.
23's
in for it. He's on Zeal.
He's in on a Zeal.
Zeal's going down.
Goodbye. The kill here for 23. They can get the push going now. No Magnus for 50 seconds.
Can they get a glimpse? They're looking for it. Ollie can't quite find it. 23 might run to the base
up to
for
high
vision.
ground, and it's going to be enough to give them vision. They drag back while you smile. Another kill for Talon.
Deathloop is a constant game that got stretched too thin. What was
They're
Deathloop?
actually- this
I
is the most confident,
think
like I
I've
said,
seen
just
it
like last
before.
game, they're still playing with that, like, we know the exact timings of these BKBs. Who cares if
I
they
think
get
I
us a
even
good fight with the
did
God
try
Strength
to
and
make
stuff
a
like that for
review.
second.
Well,
They're
you know,
completely
the
reliant on their
check
cooldowns
what
on
comes
the
out
side of
next
LGD. They're
week
getting the push to
stuff.
high ground.
Yeah, I mean, so
For
much they're getting done just down to the fact that 23 was able to survive out their last play.
I cannot believe that. That was insane.
He's in now, putting the pressure on.
Chiro needs
Still a bit
MKB
of time
badly.
here until, PSG
He would have like
have their
3-shot
full lineup
23
back in the
Savage in
game.
that fight.
They do have good high ground defense, though. The Kato Blast will be able to clear most out. And everything is pretty much back up for them. BKBs and God Strength is at the ready. Wild game. Tense moments.
We can't let those kills slip away from them again like that, PSG.LGD. Everything's got to be thrown down. No hesitation.
Still taking good fights, though. Roche, what's the timer on it? It is about 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's going to be a pretty long respawn. Q getting...
Want to play a repetitive that is fun? Get Borderlands 1, 2, 3 instead. Hell, even Tiny Teen.
I know,
Tiny.
no, the Techies one.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know what it does.
I
Of
don't
course.
like playing
I'm looking forward to
repetitive
seeing
games.
How much players panic inside
Remember
of it,
when
of course,
we
wind up
played
actually versus the minefield sign if he does get it.
Fuck, what was it
LGD,
called?
they're primed for the fight. They are absolutely strong
Fucking
enough to
mini
fight into
game
this lineup
bullshit
now.
game. What was it called?
All about initiations.
Where I had to hack something 20 million times in one game.
The song combo is devastating as well. Who's gonna get caught?
The high ground here, Talon around.
Bioshock, that was it.
He's going to be immediately able to delete Q. Now with the BKB God Strength, they're going to look for more. Up
He
for the
dodges
dodge.
it.
Oh my goodness, he dodges the RP. Zeal is going to try and change with the remainder of this BKB. To
Why
get
is 23 Savage this freaking good?
23 is falling low. He's still alive somehow. Finally, they take 23 out. As Makoto is attempting to turn towards Shiro and actually just punching through him. Makoto.
But no can touch nothing to say.
They've lost the techies here. Q ball back for this is a dive.
Nothing to say is unkillable without Naga.
Get out through the Fiend's Gate, but he won't make it. As PSG.LGD, they'll still be able to take the fight, despite some of the flashy attempts from Talon, 23 in particular, to try and survive the jump. 3 dead on Talon.
Oh, and they've completely recovered everything in this game.
Yeah.
Roche is back up in 15 seconds.
Without Naga, they have no way of killing Timbersaw.
Damn fast on LGD as well.
That's a big fat problem. That is what we were talking about during the draft. They have terrible killing of heroes.
The way that they set up the fight was perfect. He leads the charge with the Sven, and nothing to say, doesn't walk into the song. He actually waits on the outskirts and gets his BKB off so that he can actually finish off the Naga Siren. Look up top at the fight. Waits for it, and then he's like, screw it, I'm committing in with BKB.
Yeah, they played that really well.
I mean, they're completely back in the game. Roche, it's up, but the Naga Siren's back. LGD. Making magic happen. All right, they're in a pretty good advantage, it does feel like, at this moment as well.
Roche is still up, though.
Every time they have their cooldowns up, definitely feels like Talon, they have to get the initiation themselves with a song into a static storm on the ideal targets.
How close are some of these hexes as well? We're getting, you know, why you smile with a smile, just go slowly crawling towards a hex for the Ogre.
Absolutely. Landed also, Will-O-Wisp. It's very strong. This Naga Siren needs all the help she can get from her allies.
Yeah, it's just a great jump from Shiro.
Yeah.
Playing in as aggressively as he did, just straight into the high ground up towards the Twin Gate. I mean, that's the one thing when you fight around this area. You know that if you jump up there, you're going to find someone.
It's initiations are everything.
Shiro, we'll see if he does it again.
Round
He
two.
does. Straight in onto jabs.
Exact same spot.
Oh, they got the illusions.
RP on illusions. Zeal's a little bit quick on the RPs, but all the
Now they
BKBs are
back
used.
away. That's BKBs used. They actually have to be careful themselves. Gem was not able to be claimed.
So you say that time round, PSG.LGD not feeling too happy with what they got for that commitment?
No.
Hey Felix, how does it feel to beat the crap out of Darksteel? Because now Chelsea is ass, but
All right, there you go, jabs. He tanks it, and yeah, looks like Talon will they'll get the rush for that.
Yep. Back and forth we go. Initiations are key, as we see though. LGD, if they get these jump ups, they're just going to delete.
I
these
mean they're
heroes,
still
but
trash, but not as bad.
able to distance themselves nicely. Good.
But Chelsea's about to get their ass relegated if they're not careful.
For 23 as well, getting this hex done, he'll have it for the next fight.
It's everything is going to be about who jumps. It really does feel like it is. Roche says bye bye. It is.
Especially
time
considering
to
how
for me
much
to move
money
top.
Chelsea spent.
Chase
Like,
him.
what the
Get through
fuck?
that Twin Gate. Don't let him get away.
Da-da-da-da. LGD.
I mean, they do scan it out. Could have been quite comical if they were there a little bit sooner. But as it is, Talon, they'll have the space to take down Roach, get the Aegis and the cheese. And now PSG.LGD, they'll make the call not to find this. They're still waiting for the BKB to come back up on Shiro here.
Your
for 2
hero
seconds.
left?
Shiro
Oh.
Satanic. Another
Cristiano,
But it's-
Ronaldo,
if Talon plays
Sui.
the vision game, and sort of they're ready, you know, kind of 23 of like the hex precast onto one of these big initiators, it really could cause some issues for PSG.LGD's jump.
Yeah, and also let's see who gets this shard. Techie. I was going to say, if Techies gets the shard, this is another thing that can actually add an extra element into things. The disarm plus this taser is actually quite strong. I think this has been a huge addition also to make Techies cool.
Obviously, you didn't burn your own fucking jersey like a moron. You know how expensive jerseys are.
PSG.LGD, we're getting the harpoon being gone for by Shiro. How's the hex doing on Why You Smile? Still a little bit away.
I think the Shivas is the next big important one, at least for nothing to say. He's
yeah.
very close to it, and that's, of course, versus this Naga Siren, incredibly important.
They'll get a shard. Who's this going to? Who do you want it to be going to? It's going to be the Magnus Steel.
Okay, sure. Not a great one, but whatever. Game neck.
Brighton. What about... Fuck, what's that team?
Stabilized this nicely, but not
Vincent
to say
Kompany.
that,
He just advanced to the Premier League.
are out of this because 20
With-
still is so incredibly strong. And even with hexes coming into play on both sides, there's still something to be
Crap,
said
I can't
overall for that
remember what
song.
team that
Into
was.
Aghanim, Static Storm. Not a whole lot you can do against that if the spells connect.
Initiations, cooldowns, it's gonna, yeah, and vision is gonna be the
I
most
can't,
important things in this game.
can't remember.
It's really just down to the play
Quickly
now.
look it up.
Of, how even it is. Team
I'm
fight
saying quickly
execution,
look.
who's
I'm
gonna
not
come out
even gonna
stronger.
look it up because I'm lazy. Bristol or something? No.
For lags. For Q.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Jabs.
I like what Jabs is going for next. Yeah,
'Cause he's been the one
needs
that
to
gets
go for
focused.
Aeon. Yeah, he needs
I
to
mean,
go
I'm there for
If he
Eric
he just gets the
Den
lead.
Haag
As long as he gets
because
the
he
one or two
kicked that
spells off, it feels good.
fucking Sui out of the team.
Q Aghanims. Let's see if the minefield sign makes a difference at all. If it does anything.
I'm not sure. It's just you pop it down and it starts just kind of sprouting random mines around.
If they move.
They'll be moving. They'll be running.
Especially inside like an Ag Static Storm. I think that's where it can just delete these heroes. In something like that. Just, yeah. LGD now being contained inside the base here by these illusions.
Radiant are scanning. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
What a tier 4 neutrals, anything specific we see here. A static cap on Q. It's a pretty good one. Just be able to break the combos a little bit so we can get some spells off.
Trick's still always nice as well. If
Oh, he's
both
got the
circles involve
harpoon.
Chance if he's the one getting jumped and focused by Shiro.
The double headbands are in play for PSG.LGD that we pointed out from earlier. And that's it for now. A shield rune, Makoto. Also could be another important one to be able to protect himself.
He's pretty
tanky.
very tanky.
Yeah.
Halberd, BKB, shield rune.
Planet. He shows himself on this ward for a second. They're stalking him. No way.
Did you just blink over him? Well, there was no instance of catching any vision. He literally they passed each other perfectly.
He found him.
Oh my lord.
Oh, well, fair play to them, to Ollie, for having the resilience to keep on hunting, as they will find Planet. Ollie might die for this. See if he ticks out of the Spirit Vessel. He will, but he did his job there, Fog. He found him.
they still tip Planet because they're like, dude, you just solo killed him amongst 5 heroes. Amongst 4 heroes, how the hell did that happen? I can't believe he always gets away. Literally everybody on top of him. It's wild.
Yeah, you can feel as well. 23 now times. This is sort of the point, right, where you kind of want to end the game as Nagasaran. You've got your BKB. You're ready to force these fights survive. Still with a good amount of time left on the Aegis.
They're ready to jump.
They want to do something, but there's no disruptor. 23.
He is playing very risky
Goodness,
here.
he's so far from the team. And of course, he has got an underlord ready to back him up. And if anything, PSG, they're the ones scared of him. Or are they? They'll maybe realize they're like, hey, you know what, guys? We can go back in on this.
Do they have the static storm in range?
I think it's just a song to back off, surely.
Interesting. Oh, my sister's calling me, AK. Lunch is ready. So I'll go downstairs.
It's enough to allow Jabs to disengage. Shiro not able to full commit, and
Shiro.
Oh no.
And the God Strength used by Shiro.
If they get vision of him, there's going to be a big problem.
I mean, absolutely, 23's just going straight back in. They've got the Hex opening here onto nothing to say. They'll start to throw the damage down on towards the Timber Storm. It's a bit tankier this time round. As he'll be able to get out. They'll glimpse him back, but he'll put the BKB. He's not going to mess around, nothing to say. He wants to get out of here.
Oh, and they forced BKBs and God Strength.
Oh yeah.
They've got Static Storm up.
They've got everything
Song in
ready.
35 seconds. They'll have a window to go where
Let's go watch soccer. I'll be back later if you're still streaming. I'm gonna eat lunch.
So yep, they're like, watch out.
Yeah.
Looks like they're gonna use Fiend's Gate to replenish Jabs here a bit. The skewer, not gonna happen. Minefield sign. Not really doing too much either.
A quick trip back to base. What's this to pick up? Just to refuel.
Just refuel.
I'm a
mana.
dip.
Jabs is low.
Get the mana up.
I gotta work on some uni stuff afterwards anyway. So
23 poking with the hex.
I'm a dip. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I'll watch a little bit of this fight, see how it ends. Possibly,
Magnus waiting for a skewer.
perhaps Seal's trying to get the blink skewer play, maybe blink RP into 17 heroes. He does get the skewer, but the Song of the Siren is right on freaking time. Next one, kinetic field on the Timber Saw. In comes the Sven though. Cleave damage does drop Ollie. Timber Saw, nothing to say. Timber came back and gets himself out of there. And 23 is forced to TP back. Actually, the rest of them just gonna get chop, 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 suied. Chop, 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 suied. LGD gonna win game 2 because D. Okay, I'll not end the stream. I will keep it open.
That's Shiro without even having to have the BKB. He gets the jump in. They go for nothing to say, but that is the literal tankiest target.
It really is.
He literally absorbs it all.
They cannot kill him that easily at all right now. Everything thrown down on him. They use the focus of the Song into the Static Storm onto this Timber, and it's not enough. He's out, even with the sort of chance that they got the Hex onto Shiro, slowing down his opening into the fight. It wasn't enough. He still gets the cleanup, still gets the triple.
This Sven, he's getting close to being at critical mass too. 25 soon to be hit with MKB versus this Naga Siren. Then 23's got no hope to really get away.
Free Wisdom Rune as well for them here.
Getting a push going as well.
Getting that 25. There we go. Level 25 Sven.
He's gonna hit hard.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
What does he get rid of for the MKB? Just swapping the treads out? Yeah, he's selling him. Treads
He'll
gone.
He'll eventually get the Swift Blink and stuff like that, so I think just
50% God Strength damage now. On top of it all.
He's going to disintegrate these heroes.
Yeah, the wombo combo, it's huge. Even if they just don't find the RP, even just sort of a skewer alone, bunching up a couple of heroes together, Shiro, he's going to clean them out in kind of like 3-4 hits.
Talon, after having a very solid overall way of confidence that they go for targets, they have to be careful of how they do target prioritize now at this point. If they can find the Sven, the game could still just completely be into their favor, but they have to not really going for the Timber, I think is the best option for them.
I agree. They have to disable and kill the Sven.
Yeah.
If they disable and kill the Sven, unlikely that there's going to be anywhere close to sort of the insane amount of burst damage from the rest of PSG.LGD's heroes when it comes to killing Talon, so 23 stands more of a chance to live through these fights. But yeah, everything has to be focused on this Sven, because Shiro, he hits like a million tron.
Yeah, if he gets the angle to just get any hits off, he will delete them. The supports now at this point, too, are just huge on the side of PSG.LGD as well. Why? He has the Hex.
Yeah.
They want 23.
They've got eyes on him.
23's in trouble.
He's going to get the Song off. They're coming in with the BKB. I mean, 23, of course, still decently tanky. They'll use the RP as well. Ollie's stepping up. He's got the Static Storm. It's going to be enough to keep 23 alive. Now they can turn. They're going to Hex down.
Shiro in trouble.
Shiro getting burst low. 23 commits it down. Kill him off. They're taking Shiro out.
No buyback.
They'll look towards Seal. He gets glimpsed back to his death. 2 dead on PSG.LGD as this time round, Talon, they were prepared.
I think they thought that they would be able to do more damage to this Naga, but he is actually pretty damn tanky even versus the Sven.
Yeah, he really he got sort of what the BKB off right before they managed to get sort of connection. 23, he reacted perfectly.
He reacted perfect.
They went all on in him. They could not kill him. And now they're ready to push in. Shiro, he does not have buyback.
He does not. He
And
committed.
it's same to be said here for this Ogre. Why are you smart? He's dead for a minute.
Oh my god. And look, I mean, 23, the
Oh my
decision making now, it's back. Instantly buys a Moonshard after that fight. I think he knows. They're
Play
like,
it fast.
He's like, they spent the gold. It's time for us to end the game.
Go all in.
Wait, what?
Holy
They lost
Talon.
another team fight?
Look at, I mean, 23's feeling confident. They get one racks. They get the middle as well onto top.
They could take it all here. Look
They
for the
can take
megas.
it all.
What the frick did I miss?
Nothing to say. Planet and Zeal, what can they pull together? Just the three of them. As I say, gets caught by the silence and the root. Still a tough one to take out. Well, the Wisp gets laid down by Planet. Nothing to say. He's trying to get in aggressive onto 23. I'm going down to about half HP, but the song's back up. They can look to set up. They're going to go straight for Zeal.
They're on the mag.
Static Storm's back up. They're looking down underneath the tier 4. Q jumps in. Zeal, he's going down. No buyback for him. 100 seconds out on the Magnus.
20 on Shiro.
See why you're smart back in action. He's in immediately with the Hex. Over towards 23, but he's keeping in for this one, and he's immediately going to be taken back out. As he's gone, they'll get the kill on Ollie. Fortification is up. At 23, he'll make the call to back.
Well, they're not mega at least.
They respect the fact that Shiro, he's back in the game. Talon, they won't push their luck. They'll play it safe.
They all just TP out in their faces. A big hit been made from Talon, though. Buyback, I believe, is it pretty much available for the Naga? 900 short, but very close. They're just going to come right back to
in with
top.
the Fiend's Gate. Still a minute without Zeal. They're fully healed up, so they do not mind that they're pushing back into this potential of the Sven. They know they've still got the number advantage against PSG.LGD right now.
How long on Song? 20 seconds.
How long is the cooldown on that
Looking to try to whittle it
Timber
down
Saw
the lines to
ulti?
get to the
Ags, actually.
Still a hard one to commit on this Timbersaw.
Yep, he's hit 25, so he has the double chakra now.
He's
His
massive.
damage has literally more than doubled now.
Sort of slowly whittling down the racks around him, though. The melee and the range both low.
They're making I think Talon's making the call for Roche. That is a absolutely crucial one as well, too, with the refresher shard at this point.
Who are you giving the refresher shard to?
Oh, I mean,
probably
it could be the Naga or the Disruptor. Those are probably the two
I think
biggest
the Disruptor, right. A couple of Ag Static Storms from Molly could be game ending.
Double BKB though.
Because he's got the blink as well, so he can get that good positioning.
Probably for the Disruptor, but I wouldn't even put it past putting it on 23.
Just on 23.
But maybe he just doesn't have slots at this point to even carry it, because double BKB, double Stalling is massive this game.
He can still try and play with it all, get the Aegis instead of the BKB, and then the Aegis goes, get the BKB and put the BKB, swap with the refresh, and then put the BKB back in.
What?
We'll see if 23 feels fast on the fingers today.
What's it going to be?
I'll definitely take the Aegis. Does he want the shard? Nice, give it to Makoto.
I feel like he's going to pass that one up, right?
I feel like yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Ollie.
That's fine. I mean, either one is
Ollie.
the ideal ones for the Naga or the Disruptor.
I mean, because now you've got the potential, right, to just sort of lay them down at the same time. They don't have to be
catch two sets.
Song of the Siren into kind of two split static storms.
And TS trying to lead the charge. X.
Ollie came to say hi. He does have a Bloodstone,
He's
so.
got Bloodstone now too, so he's got big full heal elements. Lanes are going to slowly push in from the sides, bottom and mid.
Yeah, they've got to take these fights smart, and that does not include going in on a Timber.
No, not the target you want. These situations are crazy. How is Planet doing on his Wind Waker? Because that is the only save, of course, versus this Static Storm kind of combo.
He's close.
He's close.
But it will mean no buyback for him.
It feels like a point where you have to commit for the items, though.
Absolutely, especially when some of your cores, like Zeal right now, he doesn't have buyback available. Yep. You've got to risk your own buyback to save the potential of your cores being out without buyback.
Actually, I'm checking a couple things.
Shiro's got his 25. What's his 25 talent? Strength damage.
Depends on his positioning. It's going to have to be pretty perfect in order for him to save people versus the Song Static Storm. It's 1400 radius versus like 1000 radius of the cast range from Wind Waker with ult.
Jabs. Trying to get some sneaky plague walls in around the backs. Give them some pretty good.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
They're grouped up big time, Ollie. He's heading over.
Oh my god!
They're going to be able to get the three-man Ag Static Storm in, trapping them and catching the big one, catching Shiro. He's out of the game.
They got him all.
They're immediately coming.
That was such a huge catch.
He's surrounded by Talon. He's trying to get out of this. He'll put the BKB, the Shiva's got the Bloodstone. He's healing up a bit. but there's no zeal for this one. They've taken out Ollie, but Ollie, he's already done his job. He doesn't need to do anything more on this one. The buybacks continue to fly out here from PSG.LGD. Shiro, he'll put the BKB.
Damage.
Turns towards Makoto. He's taken down one. Now look
Goto's shopped in 223 is a very quick target afterwards.
Back for round 2. Why you smiling, Planet? They'll look over towards Jabs. Jabs. He'll get taken out. Can they do 23 a second time after the Aegis? He'll put the BKB. He's going to go for the TP out. BKB, TP, 23. He'll make it out of there. I mean, PSG.LGD, they are able to strike back, but they have to spend 3 buybacks to be able to punch back there at Talon. A very expensive fight for PSG.LGD. And just the setup, the play board down. They've got the vision, the song, into the static storm. You ain't ever coming out on top of a team fight that starts like this, folks, if you're PSG.LGD.
I mean, everything connects perfectly. That was absolutely beautiful.
And the double, just being able to throw that second one down onto nothing to say. So he, whilst he was split from the team, he still, the sort of entrance into the whole fight was slowed down massively. But
he doesn't die on the timber. He actually just completely full heals from his bloodstone and everything like that. He did not have to use buyback.
He can still survive through everything that they throw at him. The rest of the team, not so much.
Still a game to be had.
It is, but now a very scary point for PSG.LGD because these buybacks, they ain't there. One more fight like that, and it will be game over for PSG.LGD.
Absolutely.
What's he got? Okay, Swift Link is his next item.
What is nothing to say want to buy? That's the next question. I mean, he's got his Wind Waker queued up, but he's like, I don't even have items to get rid of. I gotta eat my Aghanims and get this.
There's only so much you can do as this Timber. He's trying his best.
I like how they tipped 23 for that one, by the way, also. I think Jabs deserved a tip. That's like the Ven award to win the game. Just like, beep, gotcha. I mean, this song obviously catches all the fun.
Ogre with the shard, Disruptor with the shard.
You'll give the credit to the Veno, who's being the sacrifice for most of this game.
Is Ogre still the same shard?
PSG.LGD, they've managed to play their way through some very tough
Oh yeah, the fire shield.
that they've been putting into this game.
That was actually pretty neat. It immediately gets removed though by Naga, but it's still neat, I guess.
Catch here with the song and the static storm, and it'll be over.
Still no Wind Waker on planet either.
Refresher orb on Shira.
Okay. Did he sell his? I think he sold his harpoon. Yes, he did. Okay.
Yeah. Of course, spending up. Again, it is him, Planet, and Why You Smile that do not have the buybacks right now. Zeal, he's 30 seconds off his.
Okay, he's gonna be very. I mean, he's just on the edge with mana, but he's got a chakra. But he'll have enough at least for the double. And the way he'll stagger.
Sure.
He should be able to have it on Shiro. That is.
And they're watching Talon.
Push is starting to come in. They have the numbers.
And they have to ignore this Timber.
Clips him away. Illusions are clearing things out.
Zeal's maybe looking for an RP. He's going to get jump. He gets him with the jump skewer.
Song.
The song's there though.
It's on
They're
Zeal.
Stepping up. We'll see who they can catch in this one. They're going to look towards Zeal. Ollie's in with the Axe Static Storm and drop it down onto Zeal. And Zeal's getting focused. Shiro, he jumps into this. He's going to jump into the Axe Static Storm to try and fight.
Shiro?
I mean, can he find a target out of this? They're starting to split Talon.
They're kiting him.
Ollie's going to get found by nothing to say.
Goto tries to
trying
TP.
to get into the speeds gate, but they've got him.
Okay.
They get the two of them. The defense is there again. This time round, it's the buyback of Zeal they have to use. They will push back Talon.
Nicely done. I mean, that he's the one that does have it, so them going for him, maybe not the most ideal situation there for Talon. And Shiro,
Nothing to say. Now all says Wind Waker.
He actually only used BKB God Strength to 1 in order to get these type of kills.
And a very risky way to enter the fight, jumping into the Ag Static Storm.
Yes.
I could have gone horribly wrong, but Shiro, he was in control.
They soon have 2 Wind Wakers, 2 saves for the song.
Now he's got his Wind Waker.
So ways to
save. Can we get damage numbers up again by any chance? I want to see what Nothing to Say, how much he's been able to actually do, because it feels like it's been
he's survived
pretty heavy lifting in most of these
so
fights.
Look at that, 44,000 damage.
Techie's still the highest.
Techie's at the top though, Q.
Oh my god. Still an unbelievable recovery overall and throughout all stages of the game here from LGD, with Talon just having mostly full control in this game.
Oh, refresher now on Shiro.
More buybacks.
All on cooldown. Talon, they have all
Double
of theirs.
BKB.
It's soon going to be time for them to force the fight. Dagon now finished up for Why You Smile. So another way to clear out these illusions instantly, just prevent this push.
And also with the multicast, you heal quite nicely.
Looking on 23. He still needs some time. That's another element, and of course is going to cause some issues versus the BKBs of the Sven. Just hold him in position.
60-minute runes coming soon.
Keep clicking
And
around and also
60-minute
see how- what the
items.
Lotus situation is.
There you
See
go.
it. Great
Giant's
one way to
ring
feel
and
like they don't have enough.
oh, and then they get to choose as well. Oh no.
Too many things going on to focus on that.
Another hex thrown into the mix. Cute.
That's actually wild.
Yeah,
Reflector
this is
shield
well, too, from
thingy.
Earlier. So much disable.
Nothing to say, you know, because he feels he can go where he wants on the map.
Okay. They have a nullifier actually finished onto Mikoto as well now. So these Wind Wakers probably not going to be able to help at all either. So now they have Ag, Static Storm, and Nullifier. So there actually is no way to save heroes if they get caught inside of it. They'll just have to naturally tank through it, which I think Nothing to Say still potentially can. We've seen.
More damage here for the squad.
Nullifier is such a good item this batch.
Hero bonus.
Okay. Yeah, he's
Gonna
at
be the one
25.
here for Mikoto this game.
Not really the biggest of deals unless you get consecutive kills in the fight, which if they even get a couple, even if they get like 1 or 2 in this one, the game is over at this point because of the lack of buybacks.
Mag lowest net worth on LGD.
waiting out, nice.
Yeah,
PSG.LGD
add a couple of buybacks, and also Ogre's got Hanamitis, so he's constantly been able to get farm.
I mean, they're looking for a fight now, but as I say, this is still within this very risky last minute.
I mean, Why You Smile is just farming creeps, farming illusions. Yeah, Roche, 20 seconds.
They're going to go straight for it.
Okay. Could give them an element to be able to protect potentially here.
I mean, look, yeah, Talon, no, they're also heading immediately up to this area as well. They'll even be able to pick up an arcane rune on Q on the
Shiro
way.
shows himself as well on the wave. LGD now feeling afraid themselves. Who gets the catch? Nothing to say.
Trying to
Get
step
vision
up to
on
the high
Jax.
ground. They're really doing their best to try and just ignore the Timber Saw. Throw a hex down onto him, and a second one as well. They do not want to go on Nothing to Say.
Crucial moments, 30 seconds until the buybacks are back.
And they've done well, PSG.LGD. Surviving through these moments.
The lanes are starting to push in though. Double catapult in the bottom wave. Nothing to Say has to back up to deal with it. They have recall though. They have a way to bring him back with Planet. Talon trying to reclaim the area over here. Get rid of these wards. And Roche, yeah, it's on the menu.
They could go for it themselves, Talon.
And that's another refresher shard for Ollie.
And we saw what he did last time with it. Such a strong bonus to have. And already as potent of a support hero that he is at this late game stage.
LGD looking to come back in here.
They're heading over.
Roche does not die that fast at this point. It's incredibly tanky.
Nothing
They
to
scout
say.
NTS.
He can just throw himself in.
He is. He just takes the Watcher in front of them.
Easy Watcher play. Oh, jabs. Oh my goodness, he's out with the BK. Out of the time now. The storm's there. They've caught the 2 cores. Ollie is ready with a 4. There's the ecstatic storm down on the boat.
We have the damage to kill them.
Get Wind Wakered up into the air. See if it's enough to save, and there it is, and straight back down into the hex. Shiro's gone.
He's got
buyback seal. Look at the RP off onto the 2 of them. Skewers across. They bring in Mikoto down. Like 20
Shiro's back.
full HP. He's kiting out the side. Shiro jumps forward, finishes on Mikoto. 23. He'll TP.
Shiro gets glimpsed.
He gets glimpsed back to base.
Oh my.
But nothing to say.
They have recall again.
See if he can still finish off jabs. He's chasing out the Venomancer with the Shaxman's flying out. He'll find him. Jabs. He'll buy back.
Mikoto does not have buyback. He's 150 gold short. This is actually huge. I mean, Planet, he's just recalling his buddies in constantly. Shiro buys back, gets recalled, gets glimpsed, gets recalled.
Can they finish off Roche here, PSG.LGD?
There's a
They still
minefield
risky
sign.
Q. Yeah, he's holding the area with this minefield sign.
Oh my god, Zio takes like almost 2,000 damage.
You do not want to be walking into this pit, unfortunately, right now if you're
They find Ollie.
PSG.LGD, but Shiro's going to put the BKB. They're going straight for Ollie. Get rid of this disruptor. They'll get him. Ollie has got buyback, uses it straight away. Q, he's been found in the trees. Q, he'll jump up with the BKB's there for Shiro. He turns, takes down Q.
That's the second BKB and second God.
My lord, so many buybacks right now.
Still no Underlord, 90 gold till buyback.
Song in 10 seconds for 23. He's also got the Blink Hex available if he wants to jump in and find a catch. I mean, Nothing to Say's hanging around, but PSG.LGD, they're sort of in a shape where they may not be prepared to fight. There's the jump. 23. Straight away, he's going to go for Why You Smile. Further buyback, Mikoto. He's got it back up. He's fiend skating over. They're controlling the Ogre for now. Roots down onto Why You Smile. He's surrounded. He's out of the game. He's still got his buyback.
Shiro can't fight.
Using it.
Shiro has no BKB. He cannot enter the fight. He gets recalled in, but he's like, I have to get the hell out of here.
They just have to concede Roche.
They do.
Here, PSG.LGD, they can't fight this anymore.
The buyback, it came up just in time there from Mikoto. A lot of buybacks being used from Talon.
23 has this level 3rd.
Yeah, they'll get the Roche, but indeed,
Ah,
in
okay.
terms of the buyback situation, they themselves now 4 buybacks on cooldown. Of course, PSG.LGD is still the main one. Gone on cooldown again here with Shiro buying back in that last engagement.
Absolutely. And 23 is now he's literally critical mass. A full Aghanims being purchased up. He's going to eat it. He has the Moonshot already. He literally is full slotted, and he has buyback.
And yeah, he's also got the money really to sort of, well, very close to having the money to be able to buy
Bots
back,
in.
pick up the bots
Yep.
or such. If there isn't sort of a Fiend's Gate laid down by Mikoto to allow him to re-engage on the fight, which we will have to look out for that. There's definitely a chance that will happen as well.
They're really trying to hold on to this Ogre buyback, but it feels like he might just have to use it for
I
the
think
defense.
he will. They've got to have everything for this defense. 23 and the rest of Talon, they'll probably go pretty hard here with this high ground push.
They give the Aegis, of course, to Mikoto because he doesn't have that buyback.
What's nothing to say even going to be building now?
NTS, the unit, high-fiving them still at this point.
So they're still feeling very restrained in how they look towards going on a Timber Sword. They know that this is not the way.
No. Rex, I mean, they can't whittle it
This
down.
is the way.
It's not an option with these Naga illusions.
Yeah, it's a full force the fight.
They'll actually, I mean, maybe the Ogre will be able to hang on to buyback. He's got the Philly Stone, of course. They constantly keep putting these Philosopher's Stones into their bags.
And nothing to say, just this kind of impenetrable wall. And Talon still struggle to get past.
I believe, what, 25 was also hit by 23 in the last fight. He was actually one of the later cores to actually get it in this game. Waiting for their side lanes to push in, though. It's double siege waves. So mid, double siege, bottom, double siege, starting to enter. And I think what Shiro did by the...
They need to get their tier 5 neutral items.
DPS. If he's able to get the hits off.
Tier 5 items coming out.
Tormentors double respawning as well, and yeah, let's see. Why?
They're all opting, a couple of them opting for the Force Boots in.
Why? Fiend's Gate, he gets away. I mean, Force Boots are insane at this point of the game. Dispel that it applies, being able to use it on allies and everything too. And it's just a free slot of boots. So the Naga Siren, of course, is definitely a good pickup for 23.
Easy for him to stay on target snap.
Yep. I mean, even the health, it's everything. I mean, see, honestly, Force Boots I feel like have always been incredibly underrated. .25 being hit, Q. He's also gotten it, so Prime, his mind's pretty much instantly detonate now if he gets a connection. How many did they get, actually? 1, 2...
Just the 2, right, so far.
All right. Shiro, oh, that's a big one. He gets a Pirate Hat. So the gold will increase, and now he has... What's his... I mean, the attack speed is ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, will mean that there's a high chance that his teammates can buy up their next...
Oh, he's got the Giant's Ring.
Nothing to say, gets a Giant's Ring. Big boy Timber.
He really is the raid boss here that sort of is blocking Talon, you know, stands between Talon and progressing here.
This game could continue for some time, or end in a matter of a second here, depending on if the catches happen.
Hey, Fano went for it?
Also picking up a Giant's Ring. A couple of Giant's Rings now.
Okay.
They're big boys.
Yep. Song.
Gonna try it.
Blinking.
They can find.
They found Shiro. Do they have the catch, though?
Fiend's getting
Ollie's here.
He's in. There's the ecstatic of the Wind Waker's there.
Nullifier.
He's up in the air, but the Nullifier gets laid down upon him. 23's been skewed off to the side, but still they can take Shiro out.
Gone.
He's gone. No buyback on him. See if this is going to be enough for Talon to clean up the rest of the fight. There's nothing to say. He'll desperately try to push Q back and turn towards Mikoto. Zeal tends to have a grab onto Mikoto, won't find it.
It's only nothing to say at this point to provide any damage. They're just going to kite him around.
4 versus 5 here on the defense.
I mean, 23, what a jump.
Yeah, just goes straight in. I mean, he knows that as long as he sees that Sven, backup will come in and they'll kill him. There's nothing that PSG.LGD can do to save anyone caught by that combo.
They refreshed, so 23, he's got another song set up. They also found an Ex Machina on Q, so he also has his refreshed abilities and hexes.
And Ollie's still with that shard, so he'll have a second static storm. He'll have the first one in 20 seconds.
There go.
It's on Ollie.
Nothing to say. He's able to get the hex out towards Ollie. Ollie, he'll still find the chance to lay down the ecstatic storm. But this time, Zeal is out of it to the side. Doesn't matter. Hex is down to Zeal. Zeal, he'll buy back here immediately for the defense. 23 turns towards Why You Smile. They'll lay down the Will-O-Wisp, but Why You Smile's out of the game. Another buyback to come out here from PSG.LGD. 23 is considering looking towards the barracks. Theo, he's in with the jump, tries to shear back, and the Hex down onto 23 as 23 backs off away from nothing to say. Turns towards the squishy kills, looks towards Q, won't be able to stay on top of him. 23,
Makoto's on the
he turns with the Hex, he's up with the Wind Waker. Makoto's trying to get the mega creeps, trying to finish on the objective.
Oh, but Makoto.
They bring him low, he'll get another set out with the root. 23 and Makoto back in with the fortifications there as PSG.LGD keep the racks alive a little longer. Zeal, he'll skew away from jabs. The stun out fire blast from Ismail.
Why is Seal's skewers not doing anything the entire time?
23, he'll finish off the barracks, but he's 2 dead on Talon without buyback.
Can 23 get out?
The Hex Steel, he's got the RP back up. They look over towards 23, he's getting caught inside the base. They'll get another pullback with a will-o-wisp. 23 caught by the sleeve. He'll get caught by the stun. 23, he's out. As PSG.LGD, the mega creeps are out against them.
There's no buyback on jabs.
And buy time for Shiro to get back in the game in 5 seconds.
And they absolutely can't hold versus Megas. They have the heroes to be able to clear these creeps constantly. We still have a game on our hands, even though Talon has a clear access to victory now.
Absolutely, you know, PSG.LGD, they lose this series, they are going home. They are putting their everything into holding on in this game too.
I mean, nothing to say is doing it. He did 17,000 damage in that last fight, Owen. This Timber, 16,000, sorry, but look at the spell usage. I see what, like 20 chakrams being used, 5 hexes, etc. Insane stuff. And now down the mid, Shiro, with him being alive.
They want to try and force this, see if they're going to buyback out from 23.
Yep. Try to get something here. Jabs does not have buyback for now himself.
Yeah, Shiro, buyback's back up, but he's short on the gold.
He does have the pirate's hat, so that should help.
Yes, he's still digging.
Keep digging. Get that money, get those bounty runes.
Oh, Ollie now in another layer that could actually protect him, and there's that
Look at nothing to say.
Nothing to say. He's caught by the Hex.
Still can't deal with him, though.
It's a fair bit of damage. They've already pretty much brought him down to half HP. Only considering how heavily they can go in onto him, but the Wind Waker's there, he's out of the base. Buying time though, and trying to do their best to protect the buybacks from having to be used from both Jabs and 23.
Shiro, God Strength #1.
He's going to push in.
He kills it fast.
Straight up to the tier 3. Fortifications there, though. They really don't want to use these buybacks, Talon. And I don't think they'll have to.
They don't have to. 8 seconds.
Q. Caught by the Hex, but the Elmzisk is up.
Gotta be careful of Song.
They're playing around with this Timber. Static Storm will be dropped, but again with the Wind Waker, he's out. Not able to shut him down quite quick enough with another fire.
Nope. He was able to get it off beforehand. They
He's
need to go
away.
back to base, though, for a second.
But the defense, this time achieved by Talon's 3 heroes, buys time for no need for the buybacks to be put into play.
Intense moments here. How many? Yeah. Jabs 200 short. Zeal and Innocence are the only ones who don't have buyback at the moment. They would be the prime targets to catch at this point. Him and Shiro, of course. Shiro, though, does have buyback.
Okay. Back
Another
now with that gold that he's been just...
Everyone got their neutrals?
This constant pirate hat usages.
Everyone's rich.
Oh, Planet still needs a neutral. Tier 5.
I'm just watching Q abusing the...
But the cooldown reduction is actually pretty neat for Kato.
And refreshing.
See if they want to hold off for the next Roshan. Hit Talon.
Let's see what the timing is. It's a long one.
It's going to be nearly 3 minutes until Roche is back up again this game.
Yeah, he can't really build anything more on Timbersaw.
A little bit of a slowdown here.
Planet Hill up for the Pirate Hat as well. Just wants to get more gold for the squad, allow the team to continue kind of pick up their 7th slotted items and still have money for buyback.
These talents are pretty cool. I haven't seen, of course, like every single one of these 25 talents being put in until this game. This Veno one is actually kind of neat. Noxious Plague Aura reduces 200 attack speed. Actually quite a lot.
It's a lot.
Everything is still up to initiations, though, as we've seen over and over and over again about the Static Storms. This NTS, he's just untouchable. Literally the richest Timber I think we've ever seen.
12, 4, and 13. Doing his everything.
That's a
here
big bad bully.
To allow PSG.LGD this chance to prolong this game outcome and turn it around to potentially be in their favor and find these opportunities. You know, it really is down to the point in these games where a bad fight into a buyback and a dieback,
you could just lose.
It's game over in an instant.
Even if there's megas.
Yeah, for either side.
Yep, they can both fight back through them. Shiro, is he gonna commit? Thinking about it. He's probably deciding, like, what do I even get rid of at this point?
I guess he doesn't need to have the refresher on him all the time, right? He can backpack.
True,
that.
he can backpack and move it around for the nullifier.
But yeah, at the moment doesn't have enough for nullifier and buyback.
No. And of course has to watch out, because if he nullifies versus this mirror shield, it could get reflected onto him and blah, 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 blah. I mean, there's so many different layers that are going to be coming out here. The mine's being set up. Q, he's setting up to make sure that they get this Roshan in the next minute.
No, we'll see, I think,
Oh, with the next
23,
Roche,
what's he picking up
they
his-
should be able to. Honestly, they can probably
another
just
moonshot
double
to keep
Song of the
somebody, I
Siren
guess.
He
and
wants to
finish
give them
off
code, so
the enemy's
he just
ancient.
did, right?
Yep.
Yep. I mean, Makoto's got this AC, he's got this abyssal.
He's going to be hitting hard.
Yeah, he's going to be hitting hard and fast to get those bashes.
That's true. Very true.
We'll buy up for the nullifier now. Has enough to maintain his buyback on top of that nullifier purchase. Actually, no, I said, wait, did he just buy and...
He got rid of his MKB.
Yeah, he sold something, right? Sold the MKB.
69-minute game.
There's no butterfly anymore on the Naga Siren.
That is true, yeah. It's been swapped out the inventory for 23.
Yep.
Now the question is, when you see it sold, is there any sort of big brain play to be had with going back and
Rebuying
rebuying the butterfly? I mean, is there?
I mean, honestly, maybe. But
You know what I mean?
items
When you see
doesn't
that the
feel like
spend
it's
sold
going
his
to be...
MKB.
Items don't feel like they're going to be the absolute everything.
I guess that, because yeah, this spend, they're getting so much money because they're literally running
They're
what,
rich.
double Pirate's Hat.
Yeah.
I mean, how much GPM is that? That's a lot of money, right?
You could
for using it off cooldown.
At this point, they're each worth each dig is worth like 1,000 gold. So let's say it's probably like 2,000 gold every time they dig.
It's a lot of money. So yeah,
Save double.
They can change up their items, much more flexibility. PSG.LGD with the amount of money that they're fueling themselves with.
Oh, this could be big.
It's being trapped from the kinetic field. And LGD, they're making the move over. Planet does claim both of these runes. I mean, he's hit 25 for a while, but 27 is now claimed.
Azul will pick up his refresher.
Okay. I mean, that is the buyback.
That's the same jumping spot as the other times.
He's ready to put the song.
He gets 3.
Oh, he's got the 3 of them.
The Fiend's Gate coming in.
Coming in. The setup's there for 23. Ollie steps in. Ag standing
Oh my lord.
2 jumps forward as they're going all in onto Shiro. Shiro's out. He'll buy back immediately, but both the supports are taken out immediately afterwards, and now they can look for more here, Talon. There's no Ogre for 2 minutes, nothing to say, completely isolated from the rest of PSG.LGD, and that may give Talon the chance to try and go for him. He's still going to be very tough to take down. They're in with the Hex, the rest of PSG.LGD make their way down the lane, and Shiro's in with the BKB and the Ghost Strike. He's going to look straight towards the Sven. He's got the Hex out onto this.
Oh, the roots from the Ags.
It's about to come to an end. Shiro, he's got to run. They've got the vision on him. The Thunder Strike's there. Will-O-Wisp blade down, holds 23 back. Shiro, he gets glimpsed back straight into the midst of the ball. They surround the Sven. See if they can keep the Sven alive in any sort of manner. Nothing to say in Planet. They've got nothing left to save Shiro with, as it's a dieback for Shiro, out for 2 minutes.
And Talon's
23, what a setup.
gonna win.
Mikoto has the Fiend's Gate. Everybody's right on top of them. It gets all 3, and Jabs in the meantime on the sideline. He's just poking the Magnus. Zeal can't even get in for an initiation. They've got this, Roche.
And they may have got this game now.
They might have.
100 seconds, no Shiro. A huge element of the damage output that PSG.LGD have needed to get any sort of kills in these crazy late game team fights. It's not going to be there.
They've got the numbers. Who's getting what? Sure. The Ags now, I believe Mikoto does pick it up, right? I think it was on him. Yeah. Ags and Aegis on him. Jabs. 23. Running it down the lane. A 12 slotted or whatever slotted Timbersaw.
He just gave a moonshot away, didn't he?
About 45 minutes.
He's doing everything he can, nothing to say. He really has. He could not be giving it anything more this game.
But they're ignoring him in a lot of the fights too. They literally are just full committing for Shiro. I mean, he can't prevent so many things from happening.
Again, 23 just gets him with the song, goes straight past him. They look for the kills they know they can get. They get on top of the Ogre. Ag Static Storm's going to be there. Jump forward.
They hex Zeal.
The Will-O-Wisp is laid down. See, can Zeal get any sort of... Maybe get a skewer back. There's the RP. Oh, the skewer.
It gets stopped by the kinetic.
He's going to try and play it aggressively outside the base. Why you smile? He's getting taken out. He's back out for 2 minutes. No buyback on him. The Ancient, it's exposed. Fortifications there for PSG.LGD, but it's only going to last so long. Talon now push on 23. He's going to get caught. No, so Mikoto, and 23, they actually get dragged back into the fountain. Mikoto, he's dying to the fountain here.
Aegis.
He's got just enough life to survive. He'll get back onto looking towards the Ancient. They take Zeal out. It's 4 dead on PSG.LGD. They've got
nothing to say, still just standing there, man fighting.
Talon are forward, and they focus down the Ancient. They're looking forward to getting out of this game and moving on in the lower bracket as GG is called.
Wow, Talon, 2-0 LGD.
And a 2-0 knockback. PSG.LGD out of the competition.
Holy shit, what a game. SEA Dota at its finest. This is when they thrive. 70 minutes. 23, how many times can he catch 3 or 4 heroes inside these static storms? These sleeps were perfect. The follow-up as well. You see the faces of LGD. I mean, NTS, that was the most impressive Timber performance I think we've seen in ages, but they ignored him so much.
They did. Just the way that Talon played his late game fights, as you said, that was
amazing.
This is what they play for. These are the moments that they love. And yeah, 16, 2, 17, 23, having got kind of all avenues covered at the end. He was sort of the carry, he was the setup, he was the everything. The follow was there around him.
Pogs to Talon. Big fat pogs to Talon. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm gonna just be chilling. So have a wonderful day, guys. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good